Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back to more of the Mouse Reacts here. Still a little bit out of it. Still got a little bit of that remainder of that gunk that's still trying to work its way out of the system. And yes, a good portion of it's still blood. Fun. Anyways, been meaning to get around to this, so we're gonna get this done as quickly as we can today, since we're technically almost a week late on it. Paranormal Files. This one's titled "The Murder Forest: 300 Victims in 300 Victims in 425 Days." What this really is a focus on, according to what I saw the opening bit, is that it's focused on a Witchfinder general by the name of Matthew Hopkins. Double check that. Matthew, yeah, Hopkins. All right. So it's supposed to be focused on that. This man killed, yes, over 300 people in a very short amount of time. He was a Witchfinder general for only, I want to say from what I saw on there, 4 to 6 years. Died in his late 20s in his own home and was buried in a now unmarked grave in a now defunct church. But tonight, they plan to visit that grave. Let's go.
On tonight's episode of the Paranormal Files, we're on the hunt for one of the most notorious figures in British history, Matthew Hopkins, the Witchfinder General.
Make this city an exact vengeance. Hear me as it
You can look at this story a number of different ways. Either Matthew Hopkins was a crazed religious fanatic, a guy who was chasing a payday, or a stone-cold psychopath responsible for the deaths of 300 plus people.
We the people condemn thee as a witch.
We're standing right now on the ground floor of the tavern where Matthew Hopkins snatched his first witch for trial. And let me tell you, the stories you're about to hear and the places we're about to visit in this video are about to blow your mind. Thank you guys for tuning in. From all the way here in England, I'm Colin Browen, and you're watching the Paranormal Files.
Hi guys, everyone. Welcome to
Quite the run in the UK,
Hopping
yeah.
Bridge. We're directly in between the small town of Manningtree this way and Misterley that way. We brought you here tonight for the story of Matthew Hopkins, the self-proclaimed Witchfinder General. Now, Matthew Hopkins was born in a small village about 6 miles away from here, born the son of a Puritan minister. He moved into his house in Manningtree in around 1620, and he lived next door to the pub where he took his first witch from. We're going to take you tonight to various hotspots where the ghost of Matthew Hopkins is seen, and also some of the ghosts of these poor unfortunate souls that he captured and accused of witchcraft. Now, Matthew Hopkins was a religious man.
Of course, there's like 80 million.
I know, it's like
Right when you start talking.
not a car went past and then you start talking, it's fucking rush hour.
All right, I think we're good now.
Yeah, Matthew Hopkins, he was a religious man, a self-proclaimed Witchfinder General. So, was he a serial killer? Was he just a religious fanatic who believed he was clearing this area of the UK of evil? Or was he just in it for the money? By the end of tonight, hopefully, you'll have the answers. Maybe Matthew Hopkins will make himself known to us and answer the question himself.
So Matthew Hopkins is like a really notorious figure, right?
Really notorious figure. He's actually responsible for the deaths of up to 300 people in just a 14-month period.
That's an insane big number. Yeah, that's an insane amount of people.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't know this story.
It's quite a hidden story, but whereas if you look at the Pendle witches, where there was 10 people executed, Matthew Hopkins was responsible for the deaths of 300, and it's part of our history, but it's not spoke about. There was a film made about Matthew Hopkins, and that's it really. He's fairly unknown and quite a difficult character to sort of pin down. But we've done a lot of research. We've got the place. We know where he was born. We know where he lived. We know the place where he tortured his witches. We know the woodland area where he went, where the persecuted souls from Manningtree and Misterley went to try and escape his reaches. And we've got a really special visit tonight to the place where he's actually buried. He was buried several hours after he died at the age of 27.
So who was Matthew Hopkins, really quick? Like, how did he start the witch hunting?
Okay, yeah, Matthew Hopkins was born the son of a Puritan minister in or around 1620. His early life is a little bit sketchy, but you can make some safe assumptions that in those days his father would have taught him, being the local minister. He disappeared off the radar and appeared back in the village of Mistley, just up the road there, around the age of 20. When he appeared back in Mistley, he was fluent speaking in English, fluent written in English. He was also fluent in Latin, spoken and written, which would indicate that he probably took further education in the lowlands, maybe France, Holland.
Also something he may have learned a little bit from his father.
So again, it would sort of tie in the gaps that we can't sort of really trace him. He worked as a shipping clerk. The tidal river behind us leads out into the English Channel. So he works as a shipping clerk in Mistley, where he met a gentleman called John Stern. John Stern was very much into the ways of witches and demons and that the sort of occult. Much older, much wiser than Matthew Hopkins. And I think if those two hadn't have met, we wouldn't be here now talking about the deaths of 300 people at the hands of Matthew Hopkins. It's almost like Ian Bradley, Myra Hindley. If they hadn't met, we probably wouldn't have the Moors murders. If Fred and Rosemary West hadn't met, we wouldn't have had all the murders. So I think it was just the chemistry between the two.
So this is very much a true crime thing again, but this is a much more historical thing, and there seems to be a lot of paranormal activity still tied to this one.
Manningtree, just a mile down there, next to a pub called the Red Lion. John Stern convinced Matthew that there was a group of witches meeting in Manningtree, actually meeting in the pub next door to his house. So one Friday night, Matthew Hopkins burst into the pub, and there was 6 women there, 6 women who were on the edge of society. They were poor, they were fairly bedraggled, they were fairly old, and he picked on probably what was the weakest one. She was a one-legged, one-eyed 80-year-old. Her name was Elizabeth Shaw. He dragged Elizabeth out of the pub. He dragged her all the way along this path behind us, down the old road to a pub in Mistley called the Thorn Inn. Now, when you get to the Thorn Inn, it states that Matthew Hopkins had an interest in the Thorn. I can't find anywhere at all that show him as owner. He had an interest. I believe that he used the rooms at the Thorn Inn for his torturing of witches. Torture was actually outlawed at the time of Matthew Hopkins, but there was nobody really around to police it. And sleep deprivation wasn't classed as torture, which was one of his methods to get a confession of you being a witch. He used several other methods. One of them was the ducking test. It was never used as actual evidence in court. It was just almost like a power thing that he did. And what he used to do was he would get the poor unfortunate soul that was accused of witchcraft. He would tie that thumb to that big toe, that thumb to that big toe. You would be dressed in a flowing gown, so you're almost like tied up like a ball, and you'll be dropped in a body of water. This is one of the pools that he used. Because you basically bobbed a couple of times, because you were airtight, that was good enough. The water had rejected your body, so that was almost like a tick in the box that he'd got for you being a witch.
You were on.
And then, most likely, if you fail those tests, you're going to be executed.
Nobody failed.
Oh, I mean...
Sorry, nobody drowned because he didn't want you to drown. A, it would have got him a little bit of bad press, drowning innocent people, and secondly, he wouldn't have been paid. So he really didn't want you to drown.
That's crazy to think that he was doing it right here.
Right here. And this is one of the spots on a moonlit night people will see the figure of a typical Puritan person. They would have a long flowing gown on, boots and a wide-brimmed hat, almost like a witch's hat, but cut off flat on the top, was a typical Puritan dress.
And people think that's Matthew?
People think that's Matthew Hopkins, yeah.
Well, should we go to the first of our many stops? So technically the second.
Yeah, we can go to probably the Thorn Inn at just up the road, probably, and then we sort of talk about how he sort of went about catching his witches and some of the other little tests he did to get another tick in the box to say you were a witch.
Perfect.
Yep.
As we began our journey that evening, we had no idea how dark it was going to get. but we had a few stops to make along the way before we began investigating, so that we could discover the true story of the Witchfinder General.
Okay, here we are. This is the Red Lion in Manningtree. This is the inn that Matthew Hopkins took his very first witch from, and just on the side of the building there was where his house was, where he lived when in his time in Manningtree, and he also died in that house. The house has been demolished about 100 years ago, but there are pictures inside the pub with the house still there. So after his conversations and his relationship with John Stern convinced him that this was the place that the witches of Manningtree and Misterley were meeting. Matthew Hopkins one Friday night burst into this very inn, and in fact there were these 6 ladies meeting inside the pub. He grabbed the first one he come to. Her name was Elizabeth Clark, and she was in her 80s. She was one-eyed and one-legged. He dragged her out, screaming at her, accusing her of causing untold atrocities. He dragged her down this road here behind us, along the banks of the river, down the old road to the Thorn Inn. Now the Thorn Inn is where Matthew Hopkins had an interest. He used the upper floors to actually get his confession from the witches. What he used to do was he would strip the poor unfortunate souls naked, and he would sit them on a stool. As soon as sleep started to come over, he would get them up, he would march them up and down, until they sort of were exhausted. He would sit them down again, berating them, shouting at them, accusing them constantly. 4 days, 4 nights, poor Elizabeth, who was in her 80s, had no food, no water. She could barely speak. The nod of her head was enough for Matthew Hopkins to say, "It's a confession, you're a witch." At that time, he also gave her some more names of 5 other people local to the 2 villages. She confessed they were also witches. Matthew Hopkins' show was on the road. He was then on a mission to clear Manningtree and Misterley of the evil that he believed. He started to gather people up. He culminated in having 29 people executed for witchcraft from these 2 tiny English villages, and they became the Chelmsford witch trials.
I mean, 30 people between these 2 towns, and with how small they are, that was a very significant amount of
Quite
people.
a chunk of people,
They've
and quite a
expanded. They've
doing.
grown into bigger towns and bigger villages now. But yeah, it was a good percentage of the population. The thing was, once he'd got one, they then confessed and accused another one, or another 2, or another 3. So what the poor people of these 2 villages realised that Matthew Hopkins was out to sort of get them, and he was on his witch hunt. They tried to get solace in it in the local woods, probably about a mile away from here. But Matthew Hopkins tried to escape the reach of Matthew Hopkins. Matthew Hopkins realised this, and he went to the woods and found them. Down at the bottom of the woods is another pool that he used to use for his swim tests.
Did some of the people that were caught in the woods, did they go on to be executed?
Yes, yeah. The total in 29. There was around 50 from the 2 villages originally, but 29 of them actually passed his tests and were sort of didn't confess and got away with it, or if they were put before the judge and there was no evidence or not enough evidence. We've talked about his how he got his confession, which was the sleep deprivation. He did his swim test. He called it the swim test. It wasn't really used in a court. It was just something that Matthew liked to do, and he did another third test. Well, it was John Stern's specialty, and it was called witch pricking. Now, John Stern had a retractable or a blade, and if the accused had got a skin blemish, a skin spot, a mole, maybe a skin tag, they believed that was the mark of the devil, where they would suckle the devil's familiars in exchange for powers to perform their magic or their witchcraft. So in John's theory, if you pricked one of these blemishes and it didn't bleed, you must be a witch. They never bled because the blade that he used was retractable and it went into the handle. So nobody's skin spot ever bled. Another tick in the box for being a witch.
What was the other evidence that they got against, like, these witches? Who were these people? What was, like, their story?
They were just, again, usually poor people, people on the edge of society, homeless people, orphans, widows, just anybody that was slightly different were brought in, and they were easy pickings for Matthew Hopkins. Okay, just at the side of the pub there was Matthew Hopkins, that imposing house. It has been knocked down over a couple of 100 years now, but this is the house he bought. This is the house where he conducted his witch trials and his witch hunting from. and the house where he died on August 24th in 1640, at the age of 24. A very rich man.
August.
Again, August.
And what about like paranormal activity here?
Paranormal activity, okay. When we've done investigations here before, we tend to try the Estes method in Matthew Hopkins' house, and again, why not? And again, we've had things coming through, such as evil, get out, persecution, witchcraft, and women in particular are verbally abused whilst using the Estes method. Inside the pub, particularly upstairs in the function room, we have witnessed doors opening and closing, things moving across the bar, and just general sort of communication using equipment such as the REM pods and K2 meters. Intelligent responses coming through there, particularly when you talk about poor Elizabeth and John Stern at Matthew Hopkins. Start to have conversations about it, and they almost like start to react.
Do you think they would care if you walked in and you like pointed out the picture?
I'll have to go and find it first. If you don't ask, you don't get, do you? So yeah, Colin is basically standing just there now, and obviously that's where the Matthew Hopkins house was, slightly set back, adjoining that property and that property. So almost what we call a terrace property. It's been gone for a couple of 100 years. This picture, looking at this, is 1800s. Mm-hmm. The view down there's not really changed that much, has it?
Why did they knock it down?
No idea. Whether the locals say it was because of whose it was, and they just wanted any part of him and any part of history destroying. Obviously, he was taken from here within 3 hours of his death, and he was buried up on the Mistley Heath on a graveyard and church that is no longer there, and he was buried in an unmarked grave. But tonight we know where that grave is, we know where that derelict church is, and we're going to take you there. Never been done before.
And you... So a lot of times with people like this, they will bury them in unmarked graves because they're worried people will like deface the grave and dig them up.
Yeah,
Is that what happened?
So it was taken away really, really quickly, and then up onto Mistley Heath, which is a very, very remote place, and buried in an unmarked grave. And he's not really spoken about much. We talk to people here, and they don't want to talk about Matthew Hopkins. It's almost a dark history that they want to forget. Yeah, so this it would have been basically a replica of this. So the house would have been there. Mm-hmm. This would have come down here, and this would have been a small garden area.
Are any of the bricks or anything original?
Yeah, all this is original from that time, and obviously this wall would have been part of his garden wall.
This might sound like a stupid question, but who would be building those houses back then?
People tend to build their own houses. Local builders, pretty much the same as today. But he actually purchased the house here.
I wonder if he ever touched these bricks.
I mean, I guarantee he did.
I think there's a spider web right there.
That spider web wasn't there when he was here.
Could be a really old web.
I think it would have fallen apart by now.
Me too.
This is where we do get some stuff going on.
Feels creepy up here.
It does feel creepy.
Yeah.
And this building's like original as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these would have looked right over his house.
His garden, in effect.
And who knows, he might have been doing stuff in his garden.
It's interesting.
We can come up when the pub's closed. You can have a wander around and maybe get a feel for the place when it's empty. And
Perfect. Awesome, man. On to the next spot.
Okay, this is the Thorn Inn at Mistley. Matthew Hopkins worked just in the shipping yard down, just a little bit down there. That's where he first met John Stern. Now, in the history books, it says Matthew Hopkins had an interest in the Thorn Inn. Some people believed he actually owned it. There's no records of ever being on the deeds. It's more like he rented the upper floors for the people that he brought from Mistley and Manningtree to bring and get their confessions. Okay, Elizabeth, who was his first witch, she was taken from the Red Line next door to his house. He dragged her out of the Red Line, he dragged her up the old road which comes along back here, and he brought her to the Mistley Thorn. He used the upper floors for his torture or his sleep deprivation. So Elizabeth was brought here, she was stripped, she was searched for the witch's mark, the skin spot if you like, and that's where Roger Stern would use the retractable blade. Following that, he needed a confession. Now, torture was outlawed in the UK at the time, but sleep deprivation wasn't classed as torture. So Elizabeth was sat on a stool. As soon as she started to fall asleep, she was dragged up. She was berated. She was shouted out, "You're a witch! Confess to being a witch!" She was marched up and down, up and down, up and down. She was then sat down again. Bearing in mind, she was had no food, no water. As soon as sleep started to come over her, she was dragged up again, marched up and down, up and down. 4 days, 4 nights. Poor Elizabeth suffered this terrible treatment until she eventually confessed. Barely able to speak, a nod was good enough for Hopkins. That was it. That was the confession he needed. We do this tour many times a year, and one Halloween we were here just standing down by the Swan. Some lovely people who come were telling the story, and at that point I mentioned about the being marched up and down, up and down. One of the ladies fell back into the other lady. I said, "Oh my God." I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "We stayed here last night and we were kept awake all night by the sound of pacing upstairs, up above us. All we could hear was somebody pacing back and two, which just validated for me what Matthew Hopkins actually did. And
there's a mark permanently left for you.
Ancient in for.
So you think that was the ghost of Elizabeth?
The ghost of Elizabeth, an echo of times past, whether it was something that's imprinted on the very fabric of the building. It wouldn't have been a great time for Elizabeth. She would have been in a terrible state, and it's just left its mark.
It just left that negative spiritual mark there.
Halloween night we were here.
So what about all the other witches that were hanged here? Where were their interrogations?
They would have taken place at the Thorn behind us. So once Elizabeth confessed, she did name other people. He then went and sought them, brought back here. They suffered the same treatment until they confessed. And then eventually the people of the villages realised they needed to escape the reach of Matthew Hopkins, so they headed just up the road to the woods, where they hoped that Matthew Hopkins wouldn't find them, but unfortunately Matthew followed them, and he carried on his persecution until he had over 30 people rounded up. Took them up to Colchester Castle, where they were held in the cells at Colchester Castle until their trial date at Chelmsford, and that became the Chelmsford Witch Trials.
He worked in the shipyards. He wasn't like a pastor or like a preacher or anything around here.
Nope.
So when he goes into a pub and just drags an old woman out, why didn't anybody stop him? I mean, because it's a far distance from that pub to here.
Yeah, in those times, if because we were in the middle of a witch craze, if you like, in the UK. So if somebody was accused of a witch, then the person dragging them out would be the hero, if you like, rather than the victim. So it was seen as a good thing that he was doing.
So how did he get the authority to interrogate and like torture 20 plus people?
He gave it himself. He was self-proclaimed Witchfinder General. He wasn't working under the instructions or permission of anybody. It was fairly lawless, with civil war breaking out. So he was fairly unpoliced, if you like. He was free to do what he would at his own free will. And because the witch craze was striking the UK, it was seen as a good thing.
So he came up with his own nickname?
Yeah, he called himself the Witchfinder General.
So the Witchfinder General is his own
Like,
nickname.
where did that come from?
Almost like from a general from the army, and he was a witchfinder, so he almost like he sort of bigged himself up, if you like. He was the general of the witchfinders.
That's so crazy. That's a crazy ass name to just give yourself.
Yeah.
It's a crazy ass thing to do.
Well, yeah. So he was operating like above the law, essentially, but they were giving him the pass.
Essentially, there wasn't a lot of law around, so he was free to do what he believed was the right thing, and because of the what was going on at the time, nobody really questioned it.
Well, you want to walk over to that plaque?
Yeah. Crimes that he committed. Basically, this is what Matthew Hopkins.
Where? Really? Let me see if I could see it. Oh, it's not black, it's gray.
It's just an old black cat.
I can't read it without my glasses on, but yeah. This is really the only evidence that Matthew Hopkins was here. It just states Matthew Hopkins, his self-appointed Witchfinder General, was based in Manningtree and Misterley during a dark period of English history. and he goes on to tell his story.
It's really weird because probably people online are going to agree with this, but when I read the title Witchfinder General and I've heard the Matthew Hopkins story, I've always thought that he was a government official or someone that was like appointed to the role of doing this, but he was just like a random guy who just went full psychopath.
Yep, self-appointed, son of a Puritan minister, very well educated, and met up with John Stern, who was more educated in the ways of witchcraft and catching witches. They got together. He convinced Matthew there was a coven of witches meeting in the pub next door to his house, and off he went. Once he cleared this area of witchfinders, he took his show on the road and covered many towns and villages around the area for the next 14 months.
Made a whole lot of money.
Yep.
It's crazy to think maybe John Stern, he just approaches this guy that's just working at the ship docks, and dad's a pastor, and he's like, hey, I know a way to make a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go hunt some witches.
Yeah. So what did you say is incorrect on here?
This, as you sort of read through it, it states on here that he actually owned this place. There's no evidence that he owned it. It's in the writings it says he has an interest in it, not that he owned it. And I believe, looking at the deeds to the place, he's never been on the deeds as an owner. So I think he just maybe rented part of it for the purpose of bringing together the people from Manchester and Mr. Lee and building up his case against them for the Chelmsford witch trials.
So there's one thing in this entire town to show that this guy who eventually had 300 people murdered was from here and started here, and that one thing is incorrect in some ways?
Possibly, yeah. And that's it.
That's crazy. I mean, what a tiny ass little plaque for how.
Tell somebody
insane
wanted
the story
everything
is.
buried, or allow somebody's wanted a lot of things buried.
After those first few stops, we were now ready to confront the ghost of Matthew Hopkins at a place that nobody's ever investigated for paranormal activity yet in the past. The unmarked gravesite of Matthew Hopkins himself. A place nobody's ever investigated before.
So where are we going right now?
Okay, this is what is known as Mistley Heath. This is a church that was demolished probably about 100 years after Matthew Hopkins was buried. So if you just glance across there, you can actually see the outline of the church. It's now in somebody's private property. Matthew Hopkins left his house next door to the Red Lion 24th of August. 3 hours after his death, he was brought up here and he was buried in the graveyard in an unmarked grave. So after he felt that he'd cleared Manningtree and Mr. Lee of the evil, that became the Chelmsford witch trials. They were all tried in Chelmsford. They were taken up onto Gallows Hill, which is now called Primrose Hill in Chelmsford, and all executed for witchcraft. Matthew Hopkins then took his show on the road. He went into different villages local to here, Great Yarmouth, Kings Lynn, Stowe, Newmarket, Bury St Edmunds. Now the thing with Matthew, he never rode into these towns and villages asking if they wanted to be cleared of witches. His name soon got out, and people actually invited him to come into the towns and villages, and he was paid. They actually paid him money for ridding their villages and towns of witches. There is records. He went to a place called Great Yarmouth on more than one occasion. He got paid £26. He went to Kings Lynn. He got paid £12. He went to Stowe and got paid £26, £28. Some of the village councils actually raised their taxes to actually afford to get Matthew Hopkins to come in. Now, £26 for one witch, where the average weekly wage was 2.5 pence. But that's what he was paid. So he would come in to the town, the people, the township, or the people would present this person to him. He would do his witch trials that we've talked about, the witch pricking, the ducking, and then he would get a confession. Once he got a confession, he got them to trial and subsequently executed for witchcraft. He had that many people at one point in his 14-month career of Witchfinder General. He was having to hire barns to keep them in, so a lot of people actually died awaiting trial. due to the poor conditions that they were being held in these makeshift prisons and makeshift barns. He was called into a place called Bury St Edmunds, and this time, unusually, it was a male that he was called in, and it was the local vicar. His name was Reverend John Lowes. Now Matthew decided he was getting quite brave and quite sort of flamboyant now. He decided he was going to get the Reverend and do a public swim test. So he actually advertised the fact that they'd got this witch. He was a Reverend, he was high in society, and they were going to do this public swim test with him in a place called Framlingham Castle Moat. So they got the poor Reverend, and again they tied him up as they would do, the thumb to the big toe, white flowing out, dropped him in, and he floated. Matthew didn't want anybody to drown. He didn't want to be known as a killer of people, and he obviously wouldn't get paid. The poor Reverend floated, then again through deep sleep deprivation, he then confessed to sending his imps out to sea to cause a shipwreck. There was no records of any shipwreck being caused around that time, but the confession was good enough. He became part of the Bury St Edmunds witch trials. Poor Reverend was executed. Now, when you look at what the parishioners were saying about their Reverend, he basically was suffering dementia. So they thought he was a little weird, a little strange, and maybe even possessed, but he was suffering dementia.
Bit of a character,
he was executed for witchcraft. Shortly after that, the tide started to turn against Matthew Hopkins. Some of the church higher-ups got wind of what he was doing, and he was told to cease his swim tests immediately. Some of his other methods were questioned. Matthew Hopkins, I think, then realised his career of Witchfinder was over. He retired back to his house in Manningtree next to the Red Lion, and wrote a booklet, a pamphlet, and it was basically trying to justify and explain why he did and what he did in the name of religion and clearing this part of England of all evil. Shortly after writing his booklet, he then suffered TB, started to cough up blood, and basically died several days later. So in a 14-month career, from him taking his first witch, poor Elizabeth Clark, to Reverend John Lowes, he was responsible for the deaths of at least 300 people from local towns and villages around this area. He died within 3 hours of his death. He was brought to this very place we are now and buried in an unmarked grave and basically forgotten about.
So, this story has been your passion, right?
Yeah.
Why this story?
I think because the Pendle Witch Trials are very famous for sort of almost worldwide. Everybody's heard the Pendle Witch Trials, and there's been plays made about the Pendle Witch Trials in London and in theatres. Matthew Hopkins was far more prolific in his witch finding. His reach got much further than one or two villages, and his short-lived life he caused a lot of pain, suffering and grief for the families of those that were persecuted and subsequently executed for witchcraft. So I've tried to learn and bring the Matthew Hopkins story
I love these little history
alive.
bits.
And we
so much
actually
interesting
do quite
stuff
a lot
to take in.
Events, bringing people on ghost walks and ghost hunts, and it's great to sort of keep this history alive. It is part of British history. Maybe not great, but it's part of history that we shouldn't forget, and it should never be allowed to happen again.
And tell us, before we go over to where it is, about like the process of finding his grave.
Yeah, a lot of the information about Matthew Hopkins, you have to make certain assumptions, and there is a churchyard on Misterley Heath, just a few minutes' drive from here. So doing the research after finding where he was born, where he was educated, where he first appeared in Manningtree, where he lived, where he worked, where he took his first witch from, etc. I needed then to sort of carry on following through his footsteps. So I went to the St Mary's Church on what I thought was Misterley Heath, and all the graves were post his death, which is the 1640. So a little bit more research, and I found some old maps and appeared at this place. And I always wanted to be at the place of his burial on the date of his death. So I found this place, and I come in, and it is private property. It's part of somebody's garden, and they were very worried at first what some strange person was doing wandering around in their garden, but as soon as I mentioned it, they were really, really sort of enthusiastic and open, and were happy to talk about the history of Matthew Hopkins. So it's very, very, very little known.
That's
nice. Where he
at least
the actual place
at least
of his
the
grave,
landowner is not
in this
against people coming in and having an investigation. As long as they're not fucking
Do you think
things
this
up.
has ever been shown on video?
Not to my knowledge, no. I could never find anything doing the research where we've actually got it on video. It's been filmed. So this is the first.
Where do you think he is?
From looking at the plans and talking to the lovely people that own this small field now, we've got a good idea.
Should we walk over?
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you can, how bright your light is. You can actually see the outline of the church that was.
Oh yeah.
You probably get a better view from this area. So it comes all the way around, and then obviously the trees have grown through it now. This was the St Mary's Church on Mistley Heath, not the St Mary's Church from late 1700s. This was the original.
Is this all stinging nettle right here?
Yeah. Oh, you got shorts on, haven't you?
Oh yeah, this is pretty good.
Stop, please.
Don't touch it.
Wait, have you got any dog please at home?
This looks like an original altar stone, something that's part of the original church. It's the first time I've actually been in here. I've only was allowed to walk around it. Resurrect is written on that.
Where?
Just on that side there.
Could you? Oh yeah. Right there. Oh, that's really interesting. So this would have been part of the church,
Yeah.
obviously.
All these stones and some more.
That's a pretty big church.
Yeah. It's safe. It was probably the size of the new St Mary's. Yeah, still there's something on this. In memory of Harriet Freeborn, wife of William. So yeah, it's just reminiscence of old gravestones and.
Just crazy to think this is just in someone's yard.
Yeah. Roughly, we think his grave's on this, just on this side. There's another one, can't quite.
Look at the top of it.
It's right on. Marie, who died here, this life, 14 something, 75 years.
That's nuts though that they, like, I know tearing down a church, like sometimes it gets to a state where they can't keep up with it, so just knocking down things.
Okay, yeah, we've just come through what is the remains of the church, and a lot of sort of debris still in there, and then there's some slabs that may have been part of the altar, but we've just sort of come to the outside now, where we believe this spot here is where Matthew Hopkins was buried 3 hours after his death, and where he remains today. He was put in an unmarked grave, but the lovely people that own this property have shown us on a map this is the area where he was buried and remains today.
So why the unmarked grave?
Again, it was almost like the dark history, and it's sort of out of sight, out of mind. He
as much as they paid him and as much as
felt
they
that he didn't
used him,
deserve
they
a
also
Christian
didn't
burial,
want him around
although
anymore,
he was
and
a
he was
Puritan,
becoming more and more of a
himself.
pain than he was a
But,
pleasure.
yeah, because of the
wanted him
atrocities
gone.
that he committed and the number of people that died at his hand.
And there's probably a lot of
it
people
was
who were
just,
indirectly
okay,
affected
he's
by what
gone.
he did, and
That's
were very
part of our
pissed.
history. Put it away.
So we're at the end of his life, were the tides turning against him?
At the end of his life, the tide was turning against him. That's why he retired back to his house in Manningtree and tried to justify his actions in this little pamphlet that he wrote. And also, the tide was turning against witchcraft in general. In general, Parliament had changed, the laws had changed, and just maybe 15 years after Matthew Hopkins' death, witchcraft wasn't seen as an executable offence.
Crazy that he also was never punished for any of those what you would call murders nowadays.
Yeah, he believed he was doing good in his methods because he believed that he was clearing the area of evil. So with his Puritan upbringing, was he the religious fanatic who believed that these people on the edge of society were actually witches? Was he a mass killer? or did he just see it as making a living?
I mean, at the end of the day, even if you do believe that you were doing the right thing by ridding the world of witches, he had to have known he was trying to make sure that, like, he was keeping them alive so he could get paid for them to be executed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had to at least, like, understood that he was doing the wrong thing a little bit, even if he was killing the witches.
A wrong thing for a normal, rational human being. A right thing for somebody who was religiously motivated, who believed these people were evil. He believed he was doing good. And his belief was almost like bolstered because people were calling him in and using him and using his services and paying
Correct.
heavily for using his services. So they also believed that in this middle of the 1600s, this witch craze that was sweeping the UK, that they were actually doing the right thing.
So have you ever done any paranormal investigating here?
Never. The only time I've been here was
I
2
told
years
you
ago.
there's
on
a
the
lot of people
anniversary
that believe
death
they're-
in the middle of the day. Until tonight, I've never.
I would guarantee you there's a lot of people at the time that believed they were doing the right thing, trying to get rid of evil beings and stomping out witchcraft, etc., etc. But I also can guarantee you just about as many people also saw this as an opportunity to get rid of people that were a problem to them. And it was a good excuse to slap a label on them, otherize them, get them tortured, and then sent down the line to get killed. And they're out of the hair. Guarantee you that it's just as much of an opportunity for that. And people were not as dumb as we think they are back then. They knew a good opportunity when they saw it. And I guarantee you Matthew Hopkins coming along is a good opportunity to start pointing some fucking fingers.
Never been here in the dark, never been here any other time, never walked the paths that we've just walked and read the stones. It was just okay, this is the place, and I've been, and that was it. It was a lot more overgrown when I came, but we've sort of walked through the church that he would have been brought into prior to being buried. So it's a bit of a special moment.
So should we do a little bit of ghost hunting?
Yeah, I think it's called for.
I mean, it's just insane to think Matthew Hopkins is like probably right here.
Yeah.
What's left of him?
And the sunken ground is a giveaway. I don't know if you noticed that.
I'm just standing on that something.
You're standing right on it.
Yeah. Maybe that's the closest I've ever been to him.
All right, guys. What an
Freaking whoops.
crazy opportunity right now. We are out in the English countryside, like Paul just introduced, at the actual gravesite of Matthew Hopkins. This guy, as we've said throughout this entire documentary, is an extremely notorious figure here in England, and I just think it's wild to be standing right here where he's buried. His skeleton's right here, and it's just unmarked in like the most unassuming place you can possibly imagine.
Honestly.
And like Paul said, they've never really done a paranormal investigation here, so that's also a first.
I mean, not many people have been granted the opportunity to come here.
Yeah, nobody, really knows that this is even here, I would say.
I mean,
So,
even just the fact Paul was saying that it's usually a little overgrown back here, and right now it's actually cut down enough where we can walk through everything. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
yeah, it's really weird to actually be sitting right here thinking that he's here. But we're going to be investigating kind of multiple places in this episode, so while we were here, we had to hop on this opportunity, and I'm going to hold this because I can't.
It's hot.
Therapy, it's hot.
Is he in hell?
To Matthew Hopkins, if you're here, or to any of the other parishioners or former members of the St. Mary's congregation, we are right now calling out because we really want to confirm that Matthew Hopkins' body is right down here. It said Nana, and then it said, oh, field. Convenient field. What the fuck? That's actually crazy. Right when I said we want to confirm that he's here.
We want to introduce ourselves.
Interesting.
Real quick. My name's Connor.
And my name's Colin. Matthew Hopkins, are you here with us?
Tourism. We've been talking about that all night.
Also interesting.
We're
word to bring
looking
up.
for information
That's what
about
they are.
Matthew Hopkins, the Witchfinder General. Can somebody who's here confirm that his body is right in front of us somewhere?
Chocolate.
What's your name? Well, once again, my name's Colin. It's nice to meet you.
My name's Connor.
Now that we told you our names, can you tell us your name? This is the first time anybody has used any of these tools around here. All you have to do is say the word out loud, and hopefully we can hear you say it. Harassment. Anyway. Oh, dude, mom again. It said mom, Nana, and mom. Who is this? Can you tell us your name?
Australian.
Australian?
Huh.
Holy shit. Little goblin over there. Scared me. Australian left us.
Is there anybody out here with us right now?
Eliminate.
Eliminate. Was the person who's buried here trying to eliminate witches and witchcraft?
Wait here.
Are you gonna bring him?
Laboratory.
He's gonna bring him over.
We'll wait. Come on over. Don't be afraid of us.
What the f? Come here? Wait here, over, come here.
You want us to go into the church?
It's a creature.
What was that?
Is there anybody over there right now?
No.
Yeah, I keep hearing like somebody walking right there.
Revoker.
Revoker? Would that
Kneel.
Kneel? Would that make sense? I mean, like, think about it though. Like, revoker, kneel.
Yeah.
Would like revoker be like a witchcraft term? I've never heard that word.
To revoke?
Yeah, revoking religion.
Back on, isn't it? Almost like revoke.
That's just a weird phrase of words. Revoker, kneel.
Just before that, did it say preacher?
It's a creature.
Ah, creature. I thought it said preacher.
But this said terrorism.
I mean,
It's pretty much what he was doing.
He was, yeah. I mean,
Keep it secret.
do you not like that we're telling the story of what happened?
Said to come here.
Are we standing on your grave now?
Where is Matthew from?
Frankfurt.
a village called Wenham.
But he was English?
Yeah, it's, maybe 6 miles away from here. He was born. His mother was French.
Because this just said Dutch Frankfurt.
It's believed he spent time in Holland learning his further education.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you saying that actually.
Yeah.
What did that say?
Bolshevist? I screamed.
Bolshevist, I screamed. Matthew, are you right underneath our feet right now? We're not here to get revenge or hot again.
Matthew, did you go to hell?
11.
What time is it?
11 o'clock's when we're going to be at the pub. And it said Tyler.
Male energy.
Huh.
Is this Matthew?
That's so trippy to think he's like somewhere right here. In a weird way, I almost feel like his skeleton's gonna like come out of the ground and grab my ankle. Matthew, is this your grave? Can you just say yes? What was that?
What's that?
Yeah, what the devil?
That
It could have
sounded
been a
like
bird, but that didn't sound much like a bird.
Did you hear that, Paul?
Yeah.
What was that?
Over this way.
What was that?
Secrets surrounding my death.
Secrets surrounding my death. Keep this secret.
These moths don't get much action out here.
I feel bugs all over my skin.
Oh.
Visa.
Can you tell me if any of the spirits around here know anything about Matthew Hopkins? Oh my god. Stop complaining.
Who are you? Stop complaining. Matthew? Did they call you the Witchfinder General? S-E-A-M-Y. See me.
You wanna try a DR60?
Sure.
Chelsea.
God happened.
God.
That's weird.
Tyler.
Whoa! What the f? That's. I just got Tyler. Remember? I just cleared the screen, but I just got Tyler. Is it? Would you have any idea what that would mean?
How's it spelled?
Tyler. But I mean, it could be phonetic.
It's a surname rather than the job, the Tyler.
Yeah. So we've introduced ourselves already. To any spirits that are here or any energies, is there a man named Matthew Hopkins buried here?
I am not alone. Clear.
I'm not alone. I'm not sorry. Perish.
Wow.
I'm not sorry. I'm not alone. And perish. And there's a bunch of creepy spiders.
Lowell?
And Lowell. Lowell. Oh, what the fuck?
Find my body.
Find my body and wealthy.
He was wealthy.
Yeah. He was?
He was wealthy.
Oh yeah, from all the witch finding.
Yeah.
Bro, what the f is that bug? You see that shit? What is that, bro? I've never seen a bug that looks like that. You
That's
know,
an American eating earwig.
an American eating earwig? Is that what you just said?
Alright. Once again.
Can you tell me yes or no?
Boy, you've never seen an earwig
Is
before?
a man named
Where have you
Matthew
been?
Hopkins buried right where we're
See
standing?
those all the time around here.
If Matthew is here, do you regret killing all those so-called witches?
Is Matthew's body right below us right now? Or is he a little bit further into the cemetery?
Do you like that we're telling Matthew Hopkins' story or not?
Matthew, did you actually believe that the victims you killed were witches? You just said wood. Is your body a little bit further this way? Fuck. Bro.
They go up your
Off
nose.
my nose. Jesus Christ. Dude, these bugs are savage.
I'm not friendly.
Alright, let's listen to this. And then I kind of want to have Paul do it with us.
Yeah.
Tell me yes or no. Is a man named Matthew Hopkins buried right where we're standing? If Matthew is here, do you regret killing all of those so-called witches? Is Matthew's body right below us right now? Or is he a little bit further into the cemetery? Do you like that we're telling Matthew Hopkins' story or not? Matthew, did you actually believe that the victims you killed were witches? Matthew, did you actually believe that the victims you killed were witches?
Attention, broken 20.
You just said wood. Is your body a little bit further this way?
Like nothing too crazy.
It sounded like a
No,
no.
nothing. Like maybe one no in there, and that's about it.
Alright, let's do one more. We'll have you get in here.
The ladies were all near his grave.
We could try.
If there's no ladies here, you two will do.
Whoa!
For lack of
Shots
anyone else.
fired! Holy shit!
Ooh, wee boy.
Straight through the heart.
That was unexpectedly savage. I think the ghost of Matthew Hopkins just possessed him for a
He's
second.
just pissing himself laughing now, isn't he? Yeah?
Dude, this said temperature broken glass. Hear me, pay attention, 2070. Weird, it said broken glass. So, can you clearly say yes if Matthew Hopkins is buried near where we're standing?
So this is what I
Matthew,
did out
does the
between
name
questions,
John
or
Stern mean anything to you?
time?
Elizabeth Clark? She your... Did you hear that then? Matthew, Elizabeth Clark was a witch. She was meeting in the pub next door to your house. Did you take her from the pub? You got her to confess to being a witch. She named 5 other people. Were you acting in the name of religion? Did you die alone in Manningtree? We're going to go to your house. Are you going to follow us?
It said, I won't lie to you. Not true and experienced.
There was like 3 noises from back in there, weren't there?
There was also from behind you guys.
Yeah.
Did you hear the movement behind you?
And there's no animals here.
Trying to get out
Yeah,
of the
there's
way.
nothing around. Not even birds.
That's all I could get. Someone scratching to get out.
I will go. Your last
I'm angry.
Your last question was, are you gonna follow us there?
Look it said, I will go, I'm angry.
Why are you angry?
That was weird when I asked too if he's buried here. We didn't get it on camera, but that paralight went
Yeah.
blue. All
Sure,
right,
let's listen.
I'll let you hold it, my friend.
So, can you clearly say yes if Matthew Hopkins is buried near where we're standing?
Right on this moment.
You gonna follow us?
That was that.
What was that at the very end?
What was
Sounded
that?
like laughing.
And that's when these came through on these devices.
That sounded like
Yeah.
cackling, laughing, exactly like
That's
a
when it
witch's
said,
laugh.
I'm angry and I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Interesting.
He's dangerous, it says.
Yeah.
And what?
I'm just gonna
Theory?
readjust my seat here just a moment.
Instant death, fully
Here, I can take one.
dangerous.
Let's just ask.
Come back, Elton. All's forgiven.
Is he angry because there's women here?
Ba, 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 ba. Ooh.
You
Heard
had
that.
that, right?
Heard something.
What was that?
That man's show.
I heard someone say get out.
I heard get out.
Yeah, get
Have
out.
to get out.
Yeah.
You think that's the owner?
Do you think that's the owner?
No, they're nowhere here.
I actually heard get out.
No, I literally said have to get out.
Get out.
Follow him.
I heard that.
I just heard it again.
Yeah, I heard it again.
Go away.
Exactly.
I heard it again.
Ooh.
But
The hell?
I mean, that was
And
loud.
it's not the owners. The owners know they're there.
You heard that, right?
What was that?
That man shout.
Holy
I heard someone
shit.
say get out.
I heard get out.
Yeah.
There's
get
there's
out.
only one owner out there. There's nobody
Do you
else
think
out
that's
in those
the owner?
Do you
boonies.
think that's the owner?
No, they're nowhere here.
I actually heard get out.
No, I literally said have to get out.
Get out.
Follow him.
I heard.
You gotta
That's
get
so damn
Go
clear.
away.
And then
I
the
heard
second
get
time.
out.
Stay
It was
back
the
with the
angry.
ladies.
Yeah.
It
was like a get out.
And then the second time.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
Go. And then it went go away. Yeah.
Jesus.
like, whatever that is, I don't like it. Yeah, I'm still recording.
I.
Definitely heard the same
Right,
thing.
ladies, shall we stand up on where we think his grave is? Come on, Matthew. Come on.
Chivalrous. You are wrong. Be very, very careful.
Is that a warning to me then? Is that a warning to us and the other ladies?
No, good, nobody around.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I just fell down this hill. What the fuck? That was crazy. Have to get out. And yeah, this is just woods right here.
Yeah, this is where the church was. It's just overgrown.
Oh, that's trippy.
No, nobody about. The gate's locked.
What the fuck? That was crazy. Have to get out. Well, it sounded kind of angry.
And he said he was going to follow us.
Yeah, so that's great. Well, good for the evidence later, I guess. It got colder all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's almost like
Doesn't it feel like that?
standing in front of a freezer door.
Yeah.
Not a breeze, it's just like a temperature drop.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, quickly it got colder.
It really wasn't him?
Nobody there at all. We've done a full lap round. The gates
Did
are
you hear the
shut.
second time?
Yeah.
No, we didn't hear a second.
It was literally like, you've got to get out. And then when y'all walked around the corner, it was like, ha ha ha, go away. All of us heard that.
We heard it.
How did we not hear it?
It definitely came from.
That is wild.
Seriously, how did we not hear that?
That's what I mean.
It was
It was
lit
so
right-
Because
loud.
you're heading right for it.
Gone around the
You should have
corner.
heard it.
We heard it again.
Holy shit.
And we were just saying it got colder too all of a sudden. Like I could feel it.
No breeze or nothing, it's just almost like you've walked into
Wall of
Like
ice.
someone's walked over
Yeah.
your grave. Yeah. You,
Yo, that's crazy actually.
That
we
was
never hear
really
voices
loud.
like that.
it went, get out. And then it was, ha ha ha, go away.
And of all messages, get out
Three
and
of us heard it.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh, it's a dog walker or someone out. But there's no one here.
No.
no, there's nobody. It's literally completely silent.
I can't believe you
Three of
didn't
us
hear the
heard
second
it.
one.
No.
The second
No,
one
I-
It
sounded
was
louder.
it was just as loud, wasn't it? The second one was just as loud.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Neither of us. We were just walking.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, we just heard like a sound like someone was talking. We heard
You hear the
precisely what they were
words.
saying.
Yeah.
Precisely
it was
what's
so
being
clear.
said.
You know when you sometimes you get an
Damn.
EVP and you have to listen to it a couple of times. It was so clear.
Verbally.
Whatever the get out
sus-
was.
I wish we were rolling on the
Crisp.
DR60.
Yeah.
I mean,
Damn.
you'll be able to hear that on the microphone. I'm
Oh
still
yeah, no,
still
that was
recording.
loud as shit.
You'll probably be able to hear the second one.
That's crazy. We did not hear anything.
No. So the first one, they thought, oh, we'll go and investigate. And
Yeah.
then just, no. So,
And as you went off to look, that's when the second voice came.
No, seriously, right when y'all went around the corner over there.
nothing.
And it was weird because we didn't have like lights or anything, so our one sense would have really been
Yeah.
hearing, you know?
Yeah.
He had that little dinky flashlight.
It's nearly dead.
I didn't mean to insult your flashlight, man.
All right, don't encourage him. I think we should head to the woods.
All right. Well, all right, Matthew, or anybody here, but specifically Matthew Hopkins, feel free to follow us to our next location because we want to have a chat.
Yeah, if you're really angry, come show us that you're angry.
You can scratch Paul.
Yeah, knock him over. Dunk him in the pond.
Give him a dunk.
I'd probably sink.
We'll tie him up for you.
All right, guys. So this is going to be a weird episode structurally with the different ghost hunts and the different spots that we're going to. But right now we are in the tavern on the ground floor of, this is the tavern / pub where Matthew Hopkins yanked that first witch
victim, yep.
And led her over to the other place we were just at where she was sleep deprived, essentially tortured into making a confession. We have been on the hunt for this ghost, the ghost of Matthew Hopkins, all night now, and it's really crazy that no one has really taken this journey this far, especially considering how robust the story is and how insane this history is. It's just mind-blowing. And when Connor and I had the opportunity to do this video, we knew that you guys would love the history here, and it really is crazy that no one knows a lot about this guy, especially nobody would know Matthew Hopkins, I'm sure, outside of England. And this is crazy. He's responsible for the deaths of hundreds of innocent people. We're here and we're about to investigate. But
Basically was a serial killer.
what are your thoughts,
He
man?
wasn't for the fact that he didn't get his hands dirty doing
Absolutely crazy story. We did the Pendle Witches. We did Gallows Hill. And
He just was
that
a man who used the
a
loose laws of the
relatively
land at the
small
time to
amount
get away
of
with
witches
doing away with a whole
that
bunch of
were
people he thought might
caught
have been
and
evil.
hung. This is
then
over
that's taking it the kind
300
way.
victims.
The
just from
unkind
this
way is
one
that
guy.
he did it to get rid
He's
of people
going
for his
town
own
to town,
self-interest.
all around this area, and just getting a payday for killing these witches. I mean, snagging an old woman out of here with one eye, one leg, and just like walking down the street being like, oh, she's a witch. It's crazy
It's
to
fucking
go
wild.
back in time and like see that happen, and like nobody batted an eye. They're like, oh, good for that guy, he caught one.
just do
But,
like
I mean, this
this?
story is absolutely insane. So I mean,
We
we've
did
already
do the
caught
nose,
some
the
pretty
news, and the
insane
hat, but she
evidence
is a
tonight.
witch.
And I think we're gonna find some more. I caught it another one.
Well,
Two of them.
we have the whole squad over here waiting to begin the investigation. Oh my god, what a crew. Bunch of familiar faces, some of whom we were hoping not to see again.
I knew it was going to be me. I knew he was going to say me.
Well, you guys have ghost hunted here before, and by the way, we love him, so I just want to say that because I think we hurt his feelings there. What are the
Kicking the
paranormal
shin.
responses that you guys have captured here? Anything interesting?
This is personally one of my favourite locations to do the ghost hunts, the ghost walks. When we come on it, obviously the history behind it as well. It's really tapping into a weird part of obviously time gone by. Loads of different paranormal activity happens in here, doesn't it, Paul?
This
It's,
guy, he killed us.
Oh shit.
yeah.
Already not even really
Yeah.
investigating that hard right now. It's
Yeah.
already saying some interesting stuff.
The oldest part of the pub.
Yeah, and right the other side of that wall was Matthew Hopkins' house.
So where would Elizabeth have been sinning?
It's probably difficult to ascertain where she was. It would be, I guess, probably on the ground floor. And if they were having a sort of secret meeting, if you like, what better place than where we are now?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy in here.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
And it feels very heavy in here. Like the air is way more dense.
All right.
4 spirits.
Was that 4 spirits?
Don't shout.
Oh, look at that.
All right. To whoever's here with us right now, any spirits here in the Red Lion, whether it's Elizabeth, Matthew, their house was next door. Oh shit, you see that? All the way to red. Matthew, is that you? Can you do that again?
Forgive me.
We just want to introduce ourselves. And this one's Spike too over here.
I saw
My
that
name's
third
Colin.
Spike.
My name's
Interesting, very interesting.
My name's Connor.
Lori. Hello, Lori.
I'm Paul.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Andrea.
Lori. Weird to say her name. If there's somebody here with us, you've probably had people try and come talk to you.
Outdoors.
Outdoors. His garden's there.
Oh shit, his house.
We've done Estes in his garden before, so.
We just want to know who you are and what kind of a mark Matthew Hopkins left on this building. You probably know how to use those devices. Just it's right when I say Matthew Hopkins, it's the
number 7.
if you go touch any of these devices like this, it'll show us that you're here. So can somebody give us a sign that you're here with us?
Yes, I can.
Alright, give us a sign then.
That meter was sitting like a faint 3, just kind of vibrating there.
There was just a tap then, did you hear it?
Did you hear it? Yeah.
We are ready.
This one keeps spiking too.
They're not spiking together, though, are they?
No, it's weird.
Like something's passing through. Ooh. Look at it. Do it again. It made it more crazy.
Platinate?
You know what that word is, right, Paul?
Oh shit! There it goes.
Oh,
Hello, if there's
Paul's
anyone
going off
here,
now.
any spirits that are around that can hear my voice, we don't mean you any harm. We've come into this area with great respect. We just want to know you're there. Could you maybe make a noise or a sound? Could you come close and speak to us? Maybe tell us your name? You've been seen walking around this building. Different energies roam around. Can you come and tell us where you are? Maybe why you're here?
She lied. Oh, and all the way to...
Go back there.
Go back where?
She lied. Go back there and notice. Gilchrist.
Are you hearing something?
Twice I've heard a voice from back there.
Yeah.
Going, like that. Twice.
Like agreeing? Or.
Yeah, like a.
Just like you've just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, there. Heard that one. That's interesting. Might
there
want to have
somebody
somebody look
back there?
around. There's something making a noise back there.
Did you hear it again? Yeah, there's one lady.
Yeah.
Does the name Matthew Hopkins mean anything to you?
Anxiety.
My car. It's my car registration plate. Don't you touch my car. You don't mess with my car.
instead.
Yeah, I've just had the brainstorm. It's fine.
Elizabeth, are you here?
Yeah, it's like.
Oh my god, this thing's going crazy.
That hit
life
the
was
deep
short.
orange.
Yeah, it was.
Cometh.
Cometh?
I swear to fucking God, cometh. Fire. Did any of the witches ever burn?
That was Scotland.
Yeah.
Used to burn him up there. We hung him.
You guys
I'll
ever-
prove I'm here.
Go on ahead. We won't stop you.
Junket.
Come
What
on.
was that then?
Yeah, I heard that.
Like.
Yeah.
Inscrutably.
Did we just hear somebody tapping?
True.
true.
I guess.
Who is that making the noise?
I mean, okay.
Relation.
Matthew, are you here with us? Can you make a noise?
I don't know.
Or
Is
give us
Matthew
some
here
sort of
with
a
us?
sign?
Matt, are you here? Apparently they're in the room together now. The producer has left the building.
Yeah, this one too. Oh, that's really weird. This says
car crash.
This says drive on here, and then this said car crash.
Oh, somebody's
I'm not getting
threatening.
in my car. I get someone to pick me up.
Anxiety.
Oh, so she has the license plate on this. It's anxiety even. So they literally these spirits are targeting her in her poor car. She's gonna leave that home tonight. She's gonna leave that thing here overnight. I swear.
Yeah. Who have we got to be aware of? Is Matthew Hopkins on the hunt for more witches?
You missed one, Matthew.
Well,
still trying to rid
he's
the
not in the
area
building
of
right now,
evil?
so maybe he's in
Yeah,
the
a bit of
building.
ringing at my ears.
It's weird that you have the anxiety registration, and then it says drive car crash.
Yeah,
and
I'm a
you
bit
have,
concerned about that now. Yeah.
well, you have the shirt on right now, making fun of Matthew Hopkins.
Oh, I'm not making fun. No.
Oh no! I'm not making fun. No, Matthew, no.
That's
my,
true.
My husband is convinced because I feel a real in this area. I've always lived around this area and I really like this area. And Gary, my husband, really does think that possibly I was one of the ladies that Matthew dragged off to Chelmsford because he was just, in a past life. And when I was up earlier and we were up near his grave, it felt so strange standing on top of where,
It was
like, your nemesis. It was me, right? Was it? So I was on your grave then, and then, you know, our life goes round in cycles. Everything goes round with cycles, but maybe I am on another cycle. And that when we do paranormal investigations, there's a little bit of humour, but you do have to take it seriously, and we are trying to find explanations for things we can't explain. And maybe us coming back on a cycle and going round and round, you can reconnect with something in a past life. So, there is a serious side to it, but I'm a bit anxious about getting in my car tonight. I'm not going to say, but...
Can you show us what your shirt says? Just to
My
point that
shirt?
out.
Yes, that's Manningtree 1644. And Matthew, you missed one. And Manningtree Witches 1644. But not far from here at Colchester Castle, there is a memorial plaque because 300 people, men and women, mostly women, lost their lives due to Matthew Hopkins.
Is there a bit of blue kit back there? Because something just flashed blue.
I saw that too.
1200s.
And
It's not. I thought it was.
we don't.
It's not.
1200 possibly, but we don't make a big thing of Matthew Hopkins in Manningtree. It's not like Pendle where there's a big tourist industry. There's nothing here because it is a dark history, and there was only recently put a plaque in Colchester Castle to pardon all those people that he had put to death, because he didn't kill the people himself. He was responsible for them going to trial. But did you know in Suffolk it's still legal to burn witches in Suffolk? That's still a legal law. So I mean, I'm not going across there at the moment, but
Mate, an Englishman's allowed to shoot a Welshman in the what is it, the walls
In
of
the walls
Chester?
of Chester on a Sunday with a longbow.
Still true.
all right, I'm not doing much on
Some very strange rules are still active over there.
Oh, okay.
This just said nemesis.
Just the right people, the right time with a
Gary says
longbow in the right area.
missing one.
Ew.
Kind of humorous, but we don't know. We could have gone round in a cycle and
Lots going on now.
yeah.
It's like right when you start. Catch a lot. Pollux. Catch a lot.
Follower.
Trapped.
So has everything suddenly decided to
Why don't you ask a question?
Matthew Hopkins, are you proud of what you did? You did this under the name of religion, didn't you? You were religious, and we should respect that you were religious, and I think there was a big part of you that felt you had to cleanse this area, but you enjoyed what you did as well, didn't you? Don't know what that means.
What's your name?
You know my name.
Esme.
Possibly was.
It could have been in a past life.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been.
That's such a strange name to put on.
That's a very old English name as well. That is a very old English name.
That's strange.
Esme.
You enjoyed it though, didn't you, Matthew?
Cold in here.
Shot.
What did he say?
Cold in here.
Inspire.
Who inspired you, Matthew? Who told you to do this?
Greedy.
Yes, you were.
Inspired by money.
He was, because he got paid per lady.
That's crazy. Greedy?
Yeah, inspired, greedy. Matthew, if this is you, can you give us some sort of a sign? Maybe touch one of our devices if you participated in these witch hunts because of the money?
People were uneducated, very superstitious, and it was easy to manipulate uneducated people into any bad luck was being done by
Greedy again.
the lady down the road rather than the natural way things happen.
Right.
I mean, I think it's
Really?
kind of crazy it says
Very
greedy
true.
twice.
I think he was greedy for the fame and he was greedy for the money. Because his reputation spread. Do you like the ladies being here, Matthew?
This thing just died.
It's just gone off, doesn't it?
Yeah, right when you were talking. This thing just died.
How do you feel about ladies being here now?
Nope.
Violence.
You
Nope.
feel violence because ladies are here.
And he said nope, like he doesn't like you.
You don't like me, Matthew.
You must help.
Who have I got to help? Oh, we're both coming on. Is there someone here who needs help? Matthew, how many ladies are here?
Danny.
Did you hear that then?
What did you hear?
Just like a...
I heard no.
If that was you that made that tap, can you make it louder?
Wait and see.
Wow.
I'd like to wait and see.
Come on, Matthew, move something. Are you angry that there's ladies here?
Couldn't help. Couldn't help.
In my luck, asking a ghost to move something would mean something gets broken.
Help what now?
You must help. Couldn't help.
Who is this? Can you tell us something about yourself? Or maybe how about knock once like this? If you're a man, knock twice like this. If you're a woman. Could you try to knock, please, whoever this is? Just once for a man, twice if you're a woman? Despair.
Is that what the ladies felt, Matthew? Despair? And did you enjoy that?
Horrific.
Horrific.
It probably was, because they were kept in Colchester Castle.
You look like you got a question. So you look like you got a question.
I'm alright, I'm chilled. How's everyone feel? Do you feel?
Look at this.
Holy shit!
All the way to the top.
Oh my
He
god.
obviously wants to speak to you.
Top and spat
Bradley.
there. Come on,
Yeah.
buddy.
Come on.
Spit
Come
something
on, bud.
out.
If there's anyone here, can you make a noise? The energy, the spirit of Matthew Hopkins. You're supposed to have lived next door. Used to come in this place for a drink.
Demonstrate.
You must have spoke to people in here, unhappy about witchcraft being taken place in your village. Is it true? You murdered up to 300 people. You sent them to the gallows.
Dry.
Do you still haunt this building?
Did you hear that?
Right here.
What the hell?
Little boy.
And there. That was
Sarah?
loud.
Is there a little boy here? Okay, so that's 3.
Helen.
Right.
Helen, right.
Helen Clark, without an E, was a witch that was captured.
Yeah.
It's Elizabeth Clark had an E. Helen Clark didn't have an E.
She was a part of the cold chest. These.
Yes, and we've made contact with her on more than 3 or 4 occasions. Helen Clark.
Fuck.
I've been waiting for her name to come through.
Wait, she doesn't have a knee.
Hmm?
She doesn't have a knee.
No, E on.
Oh.
Fuck me on my baby. Oh wait, I don't have one.
I was like, what the hell
Wait, what?
are you talking about, man?
She doesn't have a knee.
No knees, no.
Alright, I get it now.
Colin, the
Clark had
accent's
an E
thick, but not
on
that
the end of her
thick.
name, but she only had one leg, so she probably didn't have a knee.
She had one knee.
She only had one knee.
I hope she had 2.
Helen Clark was no relation, didn't have an E on the end of her name, but her Helen always comes through here.
She didn't have a knee.
Straight leg.
He started thinking, what the fuck? What's that got to do with anything? She's not got a knee.
Like he was just going after crippled.
Yeah.
First off, like he didn't have a leg.
Yeah.
Secondly,
The one-leg woman.
No finger, you're dead.
Church.
Despair conditions.
It is despair, yeah.
Church.
Yeah, old faces.
Text.
My life was short.
Yeah, twice.
Again, that's twice my life was short.
How old were you when you died? Can you tell us how old you were? Can you do that again?
She scares me.
Who scares you?
Matthew Hopkins had 2 assistants. They were both female. One was called Rebecca, and the other one was called. It'll come to me in a minute. But they helped undress the women and search for the skin spots.
He had 2 female assistants.
Mm-hmm.
So what was their motivation for doing it then? Was it money?
Yeah.
Yeah, just money.
And
Can you explain that? Because you never said that.
it's only just come to me. Yeah, apart from John Stern, Matthew Hopkins also had 2 female assistants
Location.
that he employed to help obtain a confession, and that they would usually search the body of the person for these skin marks for John Stern to go and prick their.
How many
skin
knees
spot.
did they have?
They had lots of knees.
Without a knee. Bro, that was so funny.
We're not gonna be able to let go of the whole knees thing, are we?
The knee?
Lost it.
I think we've lost it for a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think the
There's
ghost
just
is
no
bad on this one. I think you all lost it.
Wait, old taps? Like beer taps?
Yeah, it says old taps.
Come on, if you're there, if you can hear our voices, can you walk towards them? Come and speak to us. Please come out the shadows. If you're a man, could you make a noise so we can hear it? If you're a lady, could you make a sound?
Did you hear that?
What was
right?
that?
That was here.
Was it you?
No.
Was it your belly?
It was
Stay in
here.
talk.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a.
From
I heard that.
Yeah.
It was literally from
Yeah,
over
that
there.
wasn't.
Because I looked and thought,
Stay
Pray
and
for
talk.
me.
It says stay and talk.
And pray for me.
Oh, honey.
So, would this be Helen?
Could be Helen.
Is that the name of the spirit we're talking to?
Okay, too.
Can you tell us again what your name is, please?
Call out.
My name's Bradley. Can you tell us what yours is? Come and stand next to us. Come and tell us.
Helen, if you're here, you always ask us to do something. Can you ask us tonight?
Drama.
Did you hear that?
1800s.
Oh, that's someone's stomach.
Really?
That's so crazy.
Where's the pair light?
That was you. That was you.
Did you see the geophone go off?
That was so loud. No, did you see the foot? You know, Faz, I thought it was your foot.
No, because. But it did
wasn't.
that and that went off.
They killed me.
I got that
I
on
thought it was your
camera.
foot.
No,
But
I
it's a
thought
different
so,
sound. It was more of a.
Yeah, because if.
Yeah.
The geophone.
Alright, I have to stop the footage here for a second to point this out to you guys. Basically, in the footage that I just played you, you can hear the sound of a knock or some sort of a noise on the table. You can see the EMF meter light up, but you can see that nobody moves. Just take another look.
Where's the pair light?
That was you.
Where's the pair light?
That was you.
Where's the pair light?
That was
There
you.
it is. Yeah. And yeah, no one's moving.
Probably because they killed me.
Who killed you? And who is this?
Did somebody just tap on the table like this? Can you do it again? Just copy that.
You heard that, right?
Yeah.
It was like exactly the same noise.
Oh, these fucking meters are crazy, dude.
Helen, if that's you, can you do this?
Sinister threats. Is that like wording that Matthew Hopkins would use? Like these witches are sinister threats?
He's a sinister threat to people, and his threats would be sinister. So it could be either he would be seen as a sinister threat.
What was that?
Can you hear a man? That
Did
was
you
a
hear
man
that?
talking.
What'd you hear?
Like a man murmur.
Yeah, like a. It was exactly like that. A man murmur. It sounded like it was there.
And it went. Mm.
Was that you that made that noise? Thank you. Can you make it louder?
Well, I heard that.
What was that then?
That was scratching.
It was like,
Yeah, but that's
Smack,
what we
bang,
heard
bang.
a few minutes ago, isn't it? And when we said it was like that. That's the same.
Thank you. If that was you that made it louder. Can you tap twice if you're male?
Conjuring.
Conjuring.
Want you to come forward and make a noise. The energy of Matthew Hopkins, the Witchfinder General, used to live close to where we are. You died here. We're asking you to come forward and show yourself to us.
My name is William.
Did you die in this building? Make a sound so we can hear it. Copy this noise.
They will scratch.
They will scratch.
Brown. My last name. B-R-O-W-N.
Matthew, if you're here, I know a lot of witches. If you come talk to us, I might tell you who they are. Oh, these start spiking when I said that.
Warm.
It keeps saying like hot,
Warm, fire.
Is that because it's quite warm where he is at the moment then?
That's what we thought.
You know.
It is weird though. This says
Bungs.
bungs. Fuck is a bung?
It's
That's Brad.
money on money under the table.
What is that?
Sly money.
It's a bribe.
It's a bribe.
Really?
It's a
bung?
Yeah. You bung someone some money.
Wait, is that okay? This is honestly gonna sound stupid, but is that what a bung hole is?
No, a bung hole is a
Like a hole you slide bribes through?
a bung hole is the hole in a barrel, in a wooden barrel.
What the fuck is a bung? That's crazy. Alright. Yes.
Oh boy.
We have a
We're
word
going
for
into some
everything,
deep
man.
territory today, aren't we,
We have a
boys?
word for everything.
Yeah, you
Holy
had me
moly.
scared when the first time you said I took a slash. I'm like, a slash?
Oh, yeah.
Why would you do that? Like I took a slash.
You don't want to
at a
know.
woman. She's probably scared to death of me. I'm like, well, why would you do that to a woman?
I went for a piss. That's what I meant.
I thought you were like swinging a knife at her.
No, but she fucking walked right down and saw me as I was there. She saw the Prince thingy. The full Prince Albert.
Ginger.
She's grabbing your pubes.
Or Matthew's energy. We really just want to try figure out why you were personally motivated to carry out these witch hunts. What'd you hear?
Did you hear that?
It was like a whine.
It was a woman, right?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
whine. Ooh, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sad.
Hold out your hand.
Let me slap it. You're a naughty boy.
She's gonna bring you some money.
That's interesting. It says sad, lonely here, hold out your hand. It also makes me think like someone's just sad and they want someone to hold their hand.
I wanna
mean,
hold
next
your
door, you'd want
hand.
Yeah.
I wanna
If you're
hold
alone.
your hand.
Coughing up blood on your deathbed.
Well, that's what happens when you kill 300 people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel
Karma
too
has
sorry
a
for
way
you.
of coming back at you. Not like me right now.
Give it
Karma
that,
has, for whatever
Yeah,
reason,
right.
decided to slap me with a bit of bloody gunk.
What was that?
I heard.
That was like a freaking goddamn Tweety bird.
Like a
Like a
whistle.
whistle.
Yeah.
Ain't in here.
That almost.
Susan.
Are you one of the ladies that was accused of being a witch by
Susan.
that horrible man?
All these are hitting at the same time. Both of those I'm watching hit. Look at that.
Company.
You see that? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. You're welcome to come close to us. You trying to get our attention?
Holy shit.
We want to know why Matthew Hopkins did this.
No, was that me, or was there a light that just came up from that table and went up and then just stopped? Or was that just me? No one else saw that.
I was looking at that.
Aggressive.
A little white light came up from the table.
I didn't see that.
I was looking towards Kelly.
That's crazy though. You seem to be connected.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but I just saw a white light came from the table and it went, I don't know, 1 or 12, 18 inches high and then stopped. And it was right in front of Bradley.
Have you two done
Here.
the Estes before?
Me and Colin?
Yeah?
Well, yeah, we do it every video.
No.
Yeah.
At the same time together while being filmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You film yourself doing it?
No, we set up tripods.
Before he makes this comment, people on YouTube, would you rather see Connor and I do the Estes or Paul and Bradley, who have never done the Estes? They've never done the Estes.
But I'm thinking
Who do you guys want to do it more?
if we put you two under and film it, we can ask you questions and you don't know what we're asking. But
Yeah,
the
the
viewers
same
will
thing
know.
back to
Yeah.
That's kind of how it
I
works.
think you guys
Yeah,
are,
but-
what, are you scared? What's going on?
Why do we do paper, rock, scissors, 1 and 1?
You've never done the Estes.
No, I haven't either.
No, I haven't.
No, I've never done it.
And some tour guides there
Tell you what,
telling
See,
people how
there's
to
a
do
lot
it.
of firsts in this video.
My 10-year-old kid's done it. And I've
I don't bitch out now.
Yeah, I wouldn't admit to that,
He's done
man.
it, man. My kid's hardcore, man.
Yeah, the dad, not so much.
Son's hardcore. He's already done the Estes. Don't hit me, mate.
Before we go outside and do the Estes, is there anything else you'd like to say or do for us? Good behavior.
Good boy.
Are you going to come with us? K2's everything stopped.
Yeah.
Like, we were going to say you got to come with us. They're like out there waiting.
That is really strange.
For you. For me.
What was that?
I heard that.
Did you hear the voice?
I heard
It was
that.
like a-
It's like a woman's voice.
Yeah.
Helen, do you want to talk to us?
Probably not.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Alright, my bad.
She knows you then, doesn't she? She knows you.
Someone's got a reputation. That's good.
Matthew, is there anything else you want to say before we do this?
That was so loud.
Here.
That was boisterously loud, yeah.
Inquiry here. Wait, wouldn't that be like what he did?
An inquiry into, yeah.
Inquiry here.
Those are two
This
big
is-
words for us.
That's the very first time he inquired, if you will, into fucking witches.
Yeah.
You know? And it was here.
I bet it's proper weird for you guys, considering Salem and everything. And it pretty much started in these tiny little villages and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Ugly.
Hey, don't call him that.
let's not go there for.
Come on now. He's a slabber man, but he's still a decent folk.
Whenever you talk about Matthew,
It peaks.
it peaks, and it's also like negative words that come through. So it makes you wonder if it's him or if it's a victim.
Yeah. That's what makes me think it's like maybe a woman listening and we're shouting out, you know, for Matthew asking if he's here, and maybe it's one of the ladies listening.
Travel. We're not bad.
We're not bad.
We know you're not.
He lost. We're not bad. He lost.
He did die.
We know you're not witches.
No, they weren't bad. They were just on the edge of society, weren't they? The burdens on the village. The odd people, the odd ones out.
Yeah, a bit like Kelly today. Odd burden of society.
Wow, just savage comments tonight.
Bless her.
She can make a cup of tea. And a bacon sandwich.
Ooh, I would love to try an actual UK bacon
least you've got
sandwich.
a name.
I've actually created my own pseudo bacon sandwiches recently. They're pretty good.
Alright, should we do an Estes?
Yeah. We could do it upstairs really quick. All right, we're upstairs right now in the tavern. Everybody else is outside. It's just Connor and I, and we're gonna do a DR60 session. Matthew, are you here with us right now?
And silence between questions cut down for time.
Matthew, can you tell me, did you do it
We're
all
over
for the
halfway through
money?
this video, so yeah, I'm not surprised they're trying to cut some time.
Elizabeth,
They did it enough times.
you were taken from here. What happened?
What made you choose these women?
Was Matthew Hopkins an evil man?
How many people was Matthew Hopkins responsible for their deaths? That's such a fucking stupid way to ask that. How many people was Matthew
Hopkins responsible for their death?
Oh, that was funny. You know what I'm saying.
Yo. Sounds like it says
Word. Before they even said a word, clear as day. Holy shit.
Yo.
Can't make that out, but holy smokes, that loud.
Elizabeth, you were taken from here. What happened? What made you choose these women? Was Matthew Hopkins an evil man? How many people was Matthew Hopkins responsible for their death?
There's a bunch of like little whispers in there.
Nothing clear outside of that first one. That first one was wow.
I'll ask smart questions this time.
If Matthew Hopkins is here, can you please say his name? Matthew Hopkins?
Is the spirit of Elizabeth, Matthew's first victim, here?
Did Matthew Hopkins enjoy watching his victims die?
Was Matthew only doing this for the money?
Did Matthew really believe that his victims were real witches? Every single one of them?
If Matthew Hopkins is here, can you please say his name?
What's up, Jim?
Now to see how we were doing.
We're just listening to this session and then we're gonna go do the Estes with you guys. You wanna listen with us? Listen to this one first. Doesn't it sound like it says Matthew?
Right there before.
Yeah.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah.
That was before we even started asking the questions.
Matthew Hopkins is here. Can you please say his name? Matthew Hopkins. Is the spirit of Elizabeth Matthew's first victim here?
This is low on clear things, but there's something there, but you just can't make it out, which is a damn shame.
Did Matthew Hopkins enjoy watching his victims die?
Like laughing.
Was Matthew only doing this for the money? Did Matthew really believe that his victims were real witches? Every single one of them?
Bunch of laugh. Yeah.
There was a laugh, and I think that it said Matthew.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, when we go back through editing, we'll have to listen through it again. Because I was hearing like little things.
Oh yeah, there's a lot in there, but we're gonna go do the Estes.
Get up out of here.
You ready, buddy?
We're born ready.
Right now, we are outside of the tavern. This is the area where Matthew Hopkins had his house, which is obviously no longer here. And this would also be the approximate location where Matthew Hopkins died. So we're doing an experiment tonight, a dual Estes session. And Paul and I are going to ask questions. And anyone else that's over there, you guys can also chime in.
Mama.
It said mom like 4 times earlier. You probably know us by now, but can you tell us who you are? Say your name.
Increasingly close.
You close by to us now? Is this the very area where you lost your life? You died? Can you look around and tell us what you can see?
Now.
Maybe you can tell us whereabouts you're standing?
You're already there.
Cupboard.
We're already in the place that you died.
No possibility.
Are we talking to Matthew?
You.
It could have been like a year, too.
Oh, yeah.
I did it.
What did you do? Can you tell us what you did?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Do you mind
Yeah.
us being here?
Yeah. So Matthew, you're here with us now?
Come on.
Where?
Filthy beggars.
You talking about the women that are present? Is that what you think of the women?
Don't want to feel.
So how did you pick out your targets for your witch hunts? What did you look for in a witch?
Entry. Over.
They shoplifted something.
Didn't you just say something about beggars or something?
He said filthy beggars.
Yeah. So did you go after poor people mainly? Just destitute individuals, down on their luck women, sometimes men?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Is that the scale of men to women, 1 to 10?
Think.
I traveled and she doesn't.
You travelled where?
Come on.
I'm helping.
You feel like you helped the people of England by getting rid of the witches?
Holiday. Got a lot of issues.
Do you feel guilty about what you did?
Out of my mind.
Is that what you're trying to justify what you did? You were out of your mind?
You have a point.
Search your bill.
Both.
You trying to make a point?
General mayhem.
That's what you caused on your travels around the southeast of England. The name Matthew Hopkins struck fear.
Which comes.
Do you remember the name of one of the women or men that was accused and executed?
Look at me. Keep.
Don't care.
Don't care about their names.
The names meant nothing, did they? They were just evil in your eyes.
Would have been so confusing.
A part of it.
I'm saying you're it.
Kind of.
So Matthew, did you actually believe that these women were witches? Did you genuinely believe they had supernatural powers?
Maybe.
I've seen reflections.
Earlier it said broken glass.
Yeah.
What do you mean by broken glass and reflections?
The demented girl.
Was she one of your victims?
It might be bad.
Did you kill all these people in the name of religion?
Chains and whips.
Have the chance.
Did you think killing those witches would get you sent to heaven?
The place is sweet.
Have it all.
Have it all when you get to heaven?
I want it
Go away.
all.
You want us
Heaven.
No fucking way.
Description.
These dreams in my head.
Has.
So he was killing for religion.
Mm.
It really sounds like.
Yeah.
Why? Power.
And power.
And power.
Did you ever feel guilty?
It's peaceful.
Working class.
Did you ever feel guilty watching the people you had sent to be executed as they were murdered? Did you ever feel bad for being responsible?
The last time I come.
Have you seen us tonight at your grave?
Me. Ha 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 ha.
That's what he did at the grave.
And that's what just happened on the DR60.
Yeah.
We just got that laugh too.
Matthew, are you mocking? Are you mocking us?
No witnesses.
You'd like to?
Are you angry that we're trying to expose the truth behind your story, that those women weren't witches and you were just nothing but a murderer?
Honestly,
The old
a
ego.
lot of the blame.
The older you get, a lot of the blame.
You listening?
Are you talking to us? If you want to talk to us, we'll listen. Now's your chance to tell us your story.
Like to.
Do it then.
Why is it still waiting on the side?
It's interesting because it sounds like he's still trying to justify it.
Mm.
And that's what he did in his book before.
Yeah.
his death. So how did you justify sending those women and men
The child. Year-old.
and a kid?
Many things.
Tell us the reasons you used to justify
Colonel Harris.
Because we'll listen and we'll hear you out. Why did you feel it was right to have those people killed?
How would it look, though?
Visit.
Under pressure.
I want my family back. That's all.
I had nowhere to go.
That sucks.
Where are your family now, Matthew? Have they disowned you?
Not a good thing. What's your advice? What should that be?
You should confess, Matthew. That's the advice. Confess.
You did a proper good. Friends was no.
I fucked up.
In ways that you know.
You fucked up in ways that we know.
That's crazy.
So we know the truth about you, Matthew.
Does it make you angry that we know the truth?
Lovely.
Have you ever smoked? Your auntie.
What happened to John?
My personality, because
He influenced your personality?
like
Was John Stern the driving force behind the Witchfinder General?
I did bad.
Do you ever think of your poor victims? Poor Elizabeth?
out.
Don't deserve it. The prices were high.
You set the prices, Matthew.
In my head.
It was a mixture of you wanted to do this for God, but also you liked the money.
Felt right.
I get a weird vibe. I feel like he's actually here.
Yeah.
Like the presence of something here.
In my head.
Sounds like
absolute pleasures.
It sounds like he's even acknowledging that he was like delusional.
Where are you?
And all the stuff about in my head and thought it was right and
out of my mind, and yeah.
It's like a guilt-ridden mind.
Almost trying to justify it to himself that he was crazy.
Yeah. Do you still believe you're somewhat innocent?
The Bible.
The Bible made you think.
One question.
We can ask you one question. We can ask you why.
At that time.
It satisfies.
Is that why you did it? It satisfies?
Never.
You were never satisfied?
Belief in the night.
It's almost like he's questioning his own religious beliefs too. I wonder if he ever did that. Were you disappointed that you couldn't continue killing witches?
Others before that.
I think that.
If you had been given the chance, would you have murdered? Would you have
money?
More money? If you'd been given more money, would you have sent more witches to the hanging
Given me a minute.
I want to know if you would.
Don't stop.
Continued murdering witches and purging evil. Not even for the money. Would you have been doing
It's
it?
what we're talking about.
I think he would have.
Yeah, that was quite aggressive.
Why did he stop?
Zebra.
He stopped because the higher ups of the church started to question his motives and why he was doing what he was doing, because he took out a reverend.
It's the taxes.
Well,
Won't be able to.
now, wouldn't that make sense too with the questioning religion angle if the
Yeah.
higher ups in the church are
The
questioning
head.
his moral
And a park.
and
In the park.
interpretations of all the biblical witchcraft?
Yeah.
Did
I
you
died.
Go, you can't manage.
did you disagree with the church's thoughts on witchcraft changing and how they told you had to stop hunting? You had to stop hunting
No.
witches?
15 quid.
They questioned your methods, didn't they?
They knew.
They knew what you were doing, and they told you to stop.
Oh. Help me.
A poison.
I've been waiting for help me. Help me comes out all the
I'm
time.
not playing.
Do you think it's Matthew Hopkins asking for help?
It'd be interesting to see if Brad
For
can
love.
Brad
The
can
man.
remember it was a man's voice or a woman's voice, because we do
I
get,
didn't even know.
we get a lot
It
of
looks like it's going.
a women's voice saying help me.
I was being elusive.
Heaven's right here.
But you can't get into heaven. Why is that?
I've been.
Many challenges
Into heaven, there's many.
to fate.
Maybe you can't fully cross over because you haven't confessed to what you did in full. and
You never
Fast.
miss it.
Will you right now admit to us out loud that what you did was wrong?
I'm sure.
Clearly in those words, you could say, I was wrong, it was wrong, terrible.
Dangerous.
Continue with the confession.
First pot.
Do you still think what you did was right? I'm getting laughed at a lot tonight. Are you mocking us, Matthew? Perhaps you were pure evil.
I saw the light.
You believe.
This is so weird, dude.
Flat.
Who gets
Looked like
to say?
nothing.
We think you're pure evil. We have that say now. You have no power now.
And why aren't you allowed to go into heaven? You keep saying that.
Hungry.
What is stopping you? Can you tell us? Maybe we can try help.
In the sky.
You know.
Because for artificial.
Ugh. I'm freezing right now. That wasn't very faithful, was it?
Faithful to your religion?
You are. Hi there.
Well, we've done about 20 minutes. You want to ask a couple more and then
Yeah.
go
So
to the
alive.
forest?
Matthew, once you
What the fuck?
Yeah, we're going to the forest. Do you still walk the streets, the roads, and the highways, and the woodland of Manningtree and Mistley? Are you still the Witchfinder General?
Arriving. Seems
Worthy.
You're worthy of the title.
Even though it was a title you made up for yourself?
Falling.
These poor persecuted souls that were living in these two villages went in hiding up to the woods. Do you still go
I
up?
think so.
They did, yeah. Are you still walking the woods?
so. Personal position.
Of course.
We're going to communicate with the poor persecuted souls.
Is it dangerous to go up to those woods, to the tree?
Everywhere as well. What about the gap? Tell your friends.
Do you still hunt for witches near the 1,000-year oak?
Something I've been doing.
Are you going to come?
This is.
Are you going to come and do it tonight? It's a moonlit night, Matthew. It's a perfect night for witch hunting.
Enjoy what you've had.
Why is it going to get worse? Is it going to get worse from now on?
When?
We're ready when you
Don't
are.
forget.
Now.
We're going now.
This year.
This minute. You coming?
Come on up and give us your worst. You have any final message?
You like the news or whatever this is?
All you over. Where's your landlord?
Back in America.
Landlord of the pub?
I want a drink.
Make some effort. It's my teeth.
You're a
I'll
drink.
come around.
Whoa.
That was mad.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I didn't hear anything. Made no sense to me at all.
You're trying to justify what you did.
Who was?
Both of you. On occasions, you were both like coming out with like out of my mind, mad.
Like it's so bright when you take that
Was it
mask
a
off.
man's voice or a woman's
You
voice?
spoke, and it felt like I was getting mad. I don't know. It was weird. I could hear I don't know. It was weird.
Was it
Did someone
women's or
keep walking
men's?
across here?
No, nobody.
Because it was like the light. I don't know.
No. Man's voice or woman's voice?
I was getting both.
Yeah, it was mixed.
What you did it help me? Was that a woman's voice or a man's voice?
Oh, I can't remember. Can't even remember. It's so quick.
Majority of mine were men's voices.
How was your first Estes?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that. Very weird having it on and obviously saying the words that you're hearing, and sometimes it's hard to hear it, innit? And you know, and then it just clicks in your head what the word is. But obviously, we don't know what you guys were asking. Didn't hear anything.
You did a great job. We actually had some insane responses.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds like Matthew is still conflicted over what he did. He won't admit to being wrong. And he's like conflicted with religion, like how the church leaders disagreed with him on the witchcraft. Like,
Really?
Yeah, he's like kept talking about he's been to heaven, won't admit though why he can't get into heaven. And he said he
Shit.
still walks the woods and he's
Yeah.
gonna follow us right now up there.
Oh, great.
I heard I remember the heaven bit.
Yeah.
I've been there
I
or
got
something.
goosebumps. But I think it might just because I'm cold.
Yeah, you are showing some thigh right
I
now.
sure am. You like these bad boys?
Well, shall we go to the spooky forest?
Yeah.
Connor showing them yams there, boy. Don't mind me, I'm kind of over-relaxed in my position now. Actually,
Bradley,
we
I've
actually
got
got
to
a good
admit,
spot here.
he has got a soft side. He said, if this was anybody else, I wouldn't drive 6 hours down here.
No, I wouldn't have done.
Because of these guys, I'm coming down.
I don't know if I told you. I told you people were in the forest dancing around. Did I tell you?
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
It was in here.
Really?
Yeah, this is where it was. We came in the middle of the night. There were people dancing.
Yeah, you got pagans coming down and...
Hey, check out Epping Forest as well with the satanic shit.
You didn't?
Oh, you
Okay.
told me about that,
Hold
didn't
up,
you?
hold up.
There's a few times that we've come down here, and obviously we do the tours, we walk in, we tell a few stories, obviously let them loose on some ghost hunting. But this time we happened just to be walking down, just minding their own business, pretty much like what we're doing tonight. Walked up and they were all candles around the tree, there's all lights around it, and they were all dancing. I didn't speak to them, didn't interact with them or anything, just legged it. Just ran away. No, we sort of stayed on the outskirts, didn't bother him too much, but just walked off. Never seen it again.
You stumbled on a ritual?
It was a ritual going on, there was some weird, whatever it was. We just left them and went to a different part of the forest.
Why do you think they would be doing that out here?
Southern England's got a weird sort of close connection with the supernatural and paranormal. There's a lot of satanic sort of stuff that goes on down here, different groups, you know, rituals, societies, all sorts of stuff. It's massively famous for it, so maybe that's just a part of it. Devil worshipping's supposed to go on quite a lot down here as well. So yeah, there's all manner of different things that go on in the night, especially in these forests.
Well, that's quite the intro.
Yeah, sorry man.
That's a little creepy.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, about 1,000 years. He shouldn't really be alive because 300 years growing, 300 years doing what oak trees do, and 300 years dying. So
That's crazy.
he's been struck by lightning.
The oldest trees anyway.
Holy shit, that is a creepy looking tree.
Yeah. You take photos, people get faces in it.
I bet.
They won't be here now.
What is this stuff?
No, it's just a piss out. Kids. JD.
Trash.
Fresh Pepsi.
What the hell? You know, if I was claiming a place where I've sealed away an evil spirit,
Okay,
that'd be
this
it
is
right
our
there. Holy
last stop
moly.
tonight, probably the most dark, scariest place that we could bring you on the trail of the Witchfinder General. This is the Witch's Woods. Behind us here is Old Knobley. He's around 1,000 years old. He's Great British oak tree. It shouldn't really still be growing. The oak trees tend to spend 300 years growing, 300 years doing what oak trees do, and then 300 years dying. So.
You hear 100 years past where its prime should be.
There. Hello? There's gotta be nobody in these woods without a torch, surely. Hello? Matthew, you said you were going to come with us.
Madness to be out there without a light, yeah.
This is starting to feel a little bit weird.
Yeah. All right. So what were you saying?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's really he shouldn't be here, but he's still here. Been standing for almost 1,000 years, and he's where the persecuted souls from the two villages, Manningtree and Missiley, come to try and escape the reaches of Matthew Hopkins. So they hid around here in these woods. But Matthew didn't take long before he followed them to the woods and carried on collecting his witches for the Chelmsford witch trials. Past nights here we've done up here, some people feel very calm, and sometimes it is really calm. Other times it feels a bit like it is tonight. It's almost like it's starting to build. It's not starting to feel very nice. We
like a tinderbox
often
about to go
see
up, yeah?
over this way, and the best way of describing it is people carrying lanterns, maybe 2 or 3, and there's no noise, nothing, just these lights, and it appears just like somebody's carrying a lantern down the bottom path there, which we will go down later on. You will feel the difference when we walk down there. Leads down towards one of the pools that Matthew used when he was in this area doing his swim test. That path there takes us down to the pool, and over this way we see in the distance almost like people walking.
There's a path. Did you hear that again?
It's not the nettles you want to be afraid of.
You.
Oh. It's over there.
Hello? Some creepy ass trees.
Yeah.
There's also bats out here.
Great.
Papa Spooks was out here. He'd be freaking out and bashing his head on something.
On
That was loud AF. I got everybody to jump.
Hello, who's there?
Yeah. I think there's someone throwing shit at us.
There any humans out here? Dude, this is a fucking creepy. It's throwing rocks, dude.
Yeah. Do you want us to come to you?
Dude, these trees are so creepy looking, man. We don't have these in America.
Maybe not where you're at. Oh. Holy moly, you sure there's not an animal out there?
What? There's a robe. Where? Let's go look at it. Okay. Man, this is probably the creepiest spot we've been to.
It seriously sounds like someone's like running around us and throwing rocks.
Yeah. Just in the outskirts. What's it?
Oh god, they should stop.
There's movement over there.
What is this?
Rope.
Is this a swing?
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Where did you see this robe?
Rope.
Oh, I thought you said a robe.
You thought you saw a person in a robe and you went and checked it out?
Yeah.
That's what me and you did.
I've been wondering too, where are they heading?
Why have you brought us here?
Yeah.
You know it's... Oh my god. Shit. You know it's pretty bad when this is the place you're going to escape. God. Holy fucking shit.
What is that
thing's
thing?
huge.
What is that?
Hornet.
Are you fucking kidding me? That... Hell nah.
I think we're done with that thing.
Fuck that shit. I don't like bugs, man. I can deal with cults, just not fucking hornets.
Cults, the undead, the skeletons rising from the grave. Oh, we can handle that shit. Hornets,
pagans and
spiders,
them.
creepy
Yeah,
crawly bugs. Hell no, get out of here. Not these woods.
There's definitely nobody around, is there? So whatever those
noises were, they ain't here.
So, what's the deal with the cults and the pagans?
Yeah. on certain pagan festival days, maybe Midsummer's Eve, Midwind. Again.
Dude, it was right there.
As soon as you're back, it makes more noises.
Are there big animals out here?
No.
Nah, man, you're all good. Just werewolves and shit.
Werewolves, squirrels, just squirrels.
Badgers.
It's literally something throwing like sticks.
Yeah.
Is there anyone there? Make a noise.
You hiding from the Witchfinder?
What?
Whistle.
I just
Whistle.
whistled.
Can you copy this?
Dude, it's right here. What's really bizarre is if it was an animal, you would hear it keep walking.
Rather than just the one.
Or if it's something like scurrying in the trees and making stuff fall, it's so quiet here, you would hear it keep moving, but it's like something's throwing. That's exactly what it is.
I think we might be surrounded.
Do you love saying
that
shit?
again?
I think we might be surrounded.
This guy's a fucking...
He's a clip master.
He comes up with the puns, man. He comes up with the puns.
What was this brick structure right here?
An old army base. You know, remember me saying at the time? Yeah, it was an old army base. There used to be a bunker underneath as well. So this was part of the old training bit and stuff. But all of it's gone now.
Anybody ever died out here?
Outside maybe the people who were hunted as witches.
Apart from
I don't
us,
think so.
There's stories all over, isn't there, really? But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say this seems like a place where people would come to take their lives.
Yeah.
Well, that too, I suppose.
I mean, someone had to have killed themselves on this tree at some point. Wouldn't you imagine? If it's here for 1,000 years, that's like a perfect hanging level.
Should we have a walk down?
Yeah, should we stroll down? There's no nettles. Just ghosts.
This is a really hard to explain kind of vibe out here. It's like really thick with, I don't know, sometimes, especially in England, I feel like you get like mystical energy, like ancient. Oh my God. Fucking Christ. Right when I was, Jesus. But this is a place that has that for sure. And it's just like, you feel the energy all around you. God damn, this is eerie.
Pure I saw some movement. Oh God. Just as I flashed the torch around, there was this. There, do you hear the noise?
I really pick back up my house,
Look at this random cut I got on my hand. Yeah, this just started hurting. Right on my angel number tattoo.
And these aren't nettles on the side right here?
No.
Oh.
No, the nettles have gone, the snakes have eaten.
Are there really snakes?
No. I just brought
In a minute we're sort of going to drop down and we're almost there, but I always feel it, and I'm not sensible, but the minute you sort of walk around it, you almost like feel you're walking through into a different energy, and it always happens.
It's so quiet down here.
Do you feel the temperature now just suddenly go?
Yeah. This is a place someone would dump a body.
It is a spot where someone dunked the body. This looks freaky.
A couple miles of a rough road down there.
I will say, if I was a kid though, this is a perfect sport place. And this is it?
Yeah, this is the other pool that Matthew used when he caught up with the people from the villages of Mistley and Manningtree up in the woods. He brought them into this pool. Going back to the days of Matthew Hopkins, it was a little bit smaller. It's been made a little bit bigger by the Victorians, and they've sort of put a walkway around it. But this is the original body of water that he used for the people that he caught in the woods.
So I would imagine there would be terrible energy around a place like that.
Yeah, terrified people. You know, thought they'd escaped. Maybe got a short respite from Matthew Hopkins and the Reach, but that was quickly diminished as he caught up with them in the woods and dragged them down here to carry on his. I can see my breath and it's not even cold.
I feel like there's somebody like standing by us.
It has a different feel down here than Old Nobley.
Yeah. This is definitely a little more spooky.
Yeah.
So this is the water right here. That's crazy.
Ugh.
Keep looking behind you. Is it?
Yeah, people do. It gets worse as we go into this little bit here. A few weeks ago, we'd got some people on a ghost hunt with us, and there was one guy looked a bit like Thor actually. He did, a big guy, and we sort of went into there and we did a sort of a little bit of a calling out session, and he was like, "Can I go and stand at the back on my own?" So I said, "Yeah, go and stand at the back." So he went and stood towards the back by that laying down branch. And after about 2 minutes, all of a sudden he put his torch on. I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "I'm just checking if I need to run." So why do you need to run? He said, "Because it's really freaking me out here." So just stick with it. After about 3 seconds, he just ran at us. Something grabbed his calf muscle, and he was total skeptic. He was, "Yeah, just do your worst." Should we go and have a look?
Yeah. Fire introductions. Oh, these spots.
Holy moly. This is a crazy forest. Got my attention enough, I'm sitting up again.
Yeah, we've had people in this area, particularly women, more than 3, 4, 5 occasions where they've begged, "Please take me back, take me back." They didn't go back to the Old Nobley to the group. They're just overcome with emotion. Mandy hit on it. She said, feeling sick, dizzy. Yeah. Is it worse here than over there?
No, it was as we were coming down there. That's where it's worse. I don't feel too bad.
Okay.
You want to do a little call out here?
Yeah.
We could do the red light up by the tree.
Yeah.
Abigail.
Is that somebody? It's Bradley's out.
Listen.
That was a voice. That sounded like somebody said, "I'm here."
I swear.
I heard talking. You sure somebody's not down there?
I heard when I told you to stop at first, it was a man like.
Yeah,
I heard that too. Yeah.
I think I'm like the 2 syllables. It's like, "I'm here."
Hello?
That is crazy.
You found me.
That's fucking screaming, dude.
Yeah, you felt me.
You found me. You found me.
Is there somebody in this forest? That's like, that was like a screech from hell.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Dude, this is like some really bad energy down here. Must return.
It's always like this down here.
Yeah, it's coming from right here.
Do you think we should sort of spread out?
All right, buddy, why don't you call out these spooks? Get this shit cracking. Run.
Mary.
Run, Mary. Is Mary a witch's name?
Mary was his mother's name.
Really?
Yeah.
Matthew Hopkins, his mom?
Head.
That was behind you then. Come on, if you can see us and hear us, come towards us.
Say your name.
Say your name.
My name's Paul. Walk towards us.
Come on, if you're out there, come forward.
My name's Colin.
My name's Connor.
My name's Kelly.
My name's Mandy.
My name's Rachel.
What's your name?
If you can hear my voice, can you make a sound so we know where you are?
If the name Matthew Hopkins. The name Matthew Hopkins means anything to anybody. John Stern.
I lost one bad spirit.
One bad spirit.
One.
And what did it say?
I lost my hair.
And one bad spirit.
They used to shave them, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm sure they used to.
The witches?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was looking for skin marks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really crazy, actually.
Right.
So who's the bad spirit? Is the bad spirit Matthew? Or is it John?
Here, another one.
Come on, come close to where we are. We're asking any spirits that are close to where we are now, come forward. Come out of the shadows and come and stand next to someone. Come forward, you could touch them. Give them a sign that you're there. Does the Witchfinder General mean anything to you? People claim there's a dark entity, energy, that for some reason is still here. Can you come and show yourself now? Walk towards us. We're not afraid.
I don't know about Harold over there. He might be afraid, but I'm good.
Come on. Show yourself, please.
Move things. We really want to talk to someone tonight. We were talking to what seemed like Matthew Hopkins earlier. Is he here tonight?
Something just touched me on my head. I swear. I thought, did you see me react?
Yeah. We love talking.
It touched me up here, but this branch is the closest. It would have had to be like this.
So we're not talking?
We love talking.
We love talking.
If you love talking, come and speak to us.
Matthew, we've got 3 witches here. Come and find them.
What's that shit down there?
Can you feel the cold? Almost like coming in.
Yes.
Bag.
This one time I was filming at this place in California, known for rituals, and we found a legitimate bagged up curse.
Did you hear that?
What?
Did you hear that?
What footsteps?
Yeah, over here.
It just said girl too, right when you ask about the witches.
Who's out here?
Again. Are you coming close? Come on, Matthew, if that's you, come and do your worst.
Negative.
Why is there a negative energy out here?
Disagree.
Can you feel it getting colder?
Yes.
A lot colder.
Yeah. No breeze, almost just like a freezer door's been opened. Yeah.
Printed.
Up my mic again. Not an episode without me dropping the mic, so let's drop it.
There again.
What could that be?
There
It's
it
like
is.
something's being thrown.
Big and moving, but never see anything. It's the crazy part.
That's not supposed to be sound.
If you're over there,
I will set it off.
if I throw this, can you throw it back to me?
Wait and see.
Destroy. Foremost.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear it?
Like that.
Fucking warning, please, pal.
It was like do, wasn't it?
I don't like sitting there. I feel like someone's coming up behind me.
Weapon. Matthew Hopkins? Are you here?
People are scared of us.
I wonder why.
Witches? The people in town?
Maybe us here.
It is haunted. They are scared to come to the forest at night, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's loads of stories that people won't come here when it's dark. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, can you talk about that? Locals won't come to the forest?
Not at night. Only like young kids and stuff like that. They'll come, but apart from anyone else, they won't come up. Locals tend to stay away from this area.
What's their reasoning?
Just the folklore and the stories of hauntings and ghosts and all that, and that have come from this very wood. Obviously, Old Knobley as well, the tree with its stories connected with the witchcraft and everything as well, with the satanic rituals that's supposed to go on. So people just tend to stay clear.
Money discriminated holy surveillance.
And that's kind of what he was doing.
Yeah.
Money discriminating, cold surveying.
Definitely not alone, are we?
No.
Oh! I'm not alone! Right when you said that. What the f***? That's crazy.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, definitely not
Did you
alone.
say 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
So, where's 10 o'clock on the, because that's how some people used to talk, didn't they? So it would be over there.
Rustling again.
That's so creepy.
You're right.
The branch just moved. It did. That branch just moved.
What?
The branch just
That
moved.
upright twig thing. We heard that rustle and that twig thing moved. Was moving.
Will you just walk towards Mandy?
You saw that, didn't you?
It's a dog. It's a dog just in the water.
Don't tell things to walk towards me.
Grandad.
There's definitely this there. It's there. It's there.
And it's stuff being like thrown.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Coming from over there.
It's almost like
Surrounding us.
surrounding us, or They're either moving round or...
30, hear me. If there's somebody here...
That literally sounded like a dunking sound in the water.
Ugly again.
Again.
Heard that.
It's like the sound of
I was 80.
Elizabeth.
Isn't Elizabeth 80?
Yeah. Elizabeth, are you with us?
Under your bed.
Under your bed. It's like it switches from him to
Yeah.
the victims and back and forth, doesn't it?
Oh, it's gotten way colder here.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, are you around us? Was you accused of witchcraft?
Something's literally like surrounding us.
You afraid of us?
I feel like I'm hearing voices down there.
I was punished.
Nasty.
What was you punished for?
Kelly, go and have a look.
Yeah, go on. We'll wait here for you.
Come on, love. Good luck. Hip hip.
There's more than one of you.
I feel like I'm hearing shit down here.
Do you mean us harm?
Where's the next
Anomaly.
next noise going to be in there?
Yeah.
This is a little more than eerie.
Yeah.
Anywhere else you want to go down here?
We were watching you.
We're watching you.
Below.
Below.
Should we walk back down to the water bit?
Then we can go do the red light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8%.
Have you got IR for the red light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm shooting in that shot right now.
Do you need the IR? All these old vines and whatever this shit is. So creepy, dude.
You've had to do it alone by yourself, haven't you?
I wouldn't. No.
What was that then?
Right here.
Holy moly, the amount of weird things in this forest. Hard to say also, too, to be fair, whether or not it's animals. But the fact that they're not even seeing or hearing other animals, you would keep, like they explained earlier, you would keep hearing them moving. They just stop and watch, whatever it is.
Scary here.
Yeah. So, where should we do this?
Hey everybody, it's Colin here. Thank you for watching today's video. Hello to all the new subscribers and hello to the rest of our beautiful, wonderful, spooky family. As you know, every single week here on the channel, we give away a free gift bag to
tell
watch
the
video.
possible winners
I'm
of
gonna
the
give
live show.
So go to today's video. Thank you for listening.
Explain what we're about to do.
Okay, this is something that we like to
about
try. It's
11
called
minutes
transfiguration scrying, where we sit her down, get them nice and relaxed, ask them to almost like zone out, close their eyes, and don't react to anything we're saying. And we invite the spirits to overshadow their features and try and show us what they look like. So people standing watching will get a base reading, and any changes that we get, we will call out and say, oh yeah, he looks like he's got a tash, or his face is drawn, or anything at all. And quite often we can ask the spirit that's overshadowing your features if they can show us their eyes or open the spirit eyes. And if that happens, almost like eyes are on top of your eyes, but they've got no pupils, and they're a very much lighter red than the light that we're using. On extreme cases, we have had people taken over by spirit, and the spirit have used their voice to talk to us.
Shit. So I'm just supposed to sit here and
just chill out. Ignore that we're here, and if you want to go dark, if I just get you positioned. Perfect. So if you close your eyes, zone out, almost like don't listen to what we're saying. We call upon the spirits, this ancient woodland, the poor persecuted souls of Matthew Hopkins, or Matthew Hopkins himself. Please step forward. Come and overshadow Colin's features and show us what you look like in this life. Just step close to Colin. Step close for Colin.
This is freaky looking. Like his eyebrows are moving.
Yeah.
And getting like bushier.
The spirit that's with Colin now, can you try and open your eyes and look around? Show Colin what you can see.
Looking a bit devilish, isn't it?
Yeah. Sort of his eyelids look like blue.
Open your eyes and show Colin what you can see. Can you put an emotion onto Colin, a feeling, whether you're angry, whether you're sad, whether you're in fear? Try and put that emotion onto him. Maybe you can give him a name. Can you tell Colin your name?
In the gardens, buried deep.
His eyes are almost like disappearing.
I know.
His eyes should be.
It does. It looks angry. And there's something moving around right behind him.
There is.
Is this Matthew Hopkins?
Tell Colin your name. Draw closer. Use this opportunity to show us what you look like. Just before we ask you to step back, can you give Colin...
It's coming up like right behind him.
Give Colin a name.
James.
Are you happy? Sad? Are you afraid? Maybe you're angry.
It's fucking weird. It's really like I can see his eyes, but his eyes are closed.
Yeah. His eyes are closed, but like you say, that you can see eyes.
Yeah.
They're really quite white now. You don't see the white.
Mhm.
Really. How old are you, James?
Getting 67.
That would kind of match the eyebrows.
It's crazy. It does not look like Colin in this camera angle.
We should have warned Colin before we started that sometimes people stick with what they look like with the red light.
Well, that's not good.
His eyes are weird though, aren't they?
Yeah.
What are you
What?
doing here, James?
Did you not hear that? Sorry, everyone, stop. Did you not hear that?
Yeah.
It was like right next to me here. It was like just a noise, really loud.
No.
His eyes are moving behind his eyelids.
Are you happy that we're here, James?
See the skin around his...
I get sad.
The skin around his cheekbones is going... It's like...
Mm-hmm.
What are you sad about? Can you tell us what happened?
Wife.
Was your wife killed?
Did Matthew Hopkins take your wife?
I know.
You see the eyes?
Was she accused of being a witch?
you not found her yet?
Oh yeah, I just saw it.
Weird shit going on over there.
Can you tell us your wife's name?
I think it's getting ready to let go of him. That looks to it.
Jennifer.
Jennifer, if you're here, you come towards my voice.
James is here looking for you.
If you come forward, you can be with James.
Drop my microphone again. I was swinging over my shoulder.
Breathing's getting quite
Hopefully I won't
erratic. His
keep dropping it.
nostrils are flaring.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see her, James?
Is there anything else we can do for you, James?
I get fuck off.
Huh? Well, we're sorry you can't find your wife,
And
James.
find her. Like, I am overcome with sadness.
I thought he was going to start.
I thought he was going to start crying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I practically am.
Yeah.
We're really sorry, James.
Jennifer, can't you come forward? Be with James before we leave. He really wants to see you. Come and be with him.
It's sad to think maybe she was never here, and he was one of the people who fled to the forest. Is that true, James? Was she ever here? Berlin.
Nah! I got a vibe to scream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy as f. Turn the light on.
There's a really loud bang over there just before you start.
Look at my eyes.
I know.
He's like crying.
Can you film it?
Yeah.
His eyes were small, his forehead
Look
was
at
bigger. He had big bushy eyebrows. The noises that were going on behind
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's
What's
actually
crazy.
That's
It was like
crazy as
you
hell.
said wife, and what's your wife's name? And it said Jennifer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so trippy. Is that stinging nettle?
Yeah.
To me, I barely missed it.
Well, shit.
Dude, that's crazy as fuck. I've never done that before.
You do it again?
Yeah. That was crazy. Like, legit. And I don't know if you saw, but I felt like my jaw was going like...
Your eyes were flickering a lot and going from side to side. Your forehead was like, you know, like Neanderthal man?
Mm-hmm.
Big bushy eyebrows. And your jawline was like...
And this bit here was really sunken in.
Yeah.
This bit.
And then
It seriously did look like an old man.
That's exactly what I felt like it was.
Yeah.
It really felt like an older... But what would that be? What do you guys think that would be?
The guy who lost his wife.
Maybe grow old. You know, you came back here after looking for her when you died or something.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I think this is the end of our journey out here, right?
What a way to finish.
I have to agree.
Y'all taking a bottle of Pepsi?
Not that one.
A little snack for
I
little
think somebody
Polly.
will come back for that.
Why just leave in a rush? What?
It is weird that... Like, what is this?
Like a shoe box?
Yeah.
Trainers, and it's JD bag, man.
JD Sports.
Shop.
No.
Before we leave, to any spirits in the forest, any spirits whose lives were affected by Matthew Hopkins, any other spirits who have nothing to do with that story, to the man that I just connected with, to everybody, thank you humbly for talking with us and for allowing us in here.
Yeah, we really appreciate you talking with us. We hope that you can rest peacefully.
I'm gonna touch the tree once. I never touched it. Oh, there's a lot of spiders in this.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't touch the tree.
That wasn't as cool as I thought it was. Dude, there are lots of spiders.
At the end of the day, we walked away from that experience dumbfounded. We had truly chased the ghost of Matthew Hopkins, from the beaches to the forests, to the bridges and to the ponds. But had we really found him? I don't know. We had found something. We had talked to somebody. But I still don't know who or what that was. The stories and tales and folklore from this area are absolutely incredible. They're stories I had never heard before, and history that
Wild
largely
stuff.
has gone unexplored. But that's why we decided to do this video. There's such a larger story here that deserves to be told, that deserves to be shared. This is history that we need to know, we need to learn. And this is a haunting that I'd been dying to investigate for years. So I'll leave it up to you, the viewer, to decide. Does the ghost of Matthew Hopkins, the Witchfinder General, still stalk these very streets? Or is there something more sinister afoot in this part of England? I don't know, but this is our final video from our England series. We had such an incredible time, and it was such a fulfilling journey. Thanks to everybody who joined in along the way. I love you, and stay spooky.
Alrighty. On to the European series, and we have incredible investigations coming soon. Alrighty, that's going to be it for Paranormal Files for today, folks. I hope you all enjoyed. That was an interesting little romp in the woods at the end there. So that's going to be it for now. Thank you all again for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Don't forget to check the links down below for the original video without our commentary, pauses, etc. Also, check out the links down below if you want to find our socials, our other channel, and, of course, if you want to check out the merch and get yourself some real-time Lich Hours merchandise. That's it for now. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Pleasant dreams.